Live from beautiful downtown Bastrop, it's time for the Stage Select. Starring Julian Titus and Justin Ham.
What could this possibly be? Seems a lot like a podcast. Wonder what specifically. Talking about video games. With your hosts, you're in good hands. Not more of the same. Now we'll jump right in. So expect the unexpected and more. Now we'll get grooving. Never know who's gonna walk through the door. There just might be some strategy in this. Just having fun with a special guest. Time for Stage Select.
With special guest, friend of the show, John Gholson. And here are your hosts, Julian Titus and Justin Ham.
Welcome, one and all, to the Stage Select. I'm Julian Titus.
I'm Justin Ham. John Gholson's here. Hi, John.
Hey,
Hi.
man.
John, I have a question for you. What are your thoughts on snake murder?
Snake murder?
Yeah, the murder of snakes.
It sounds like a Spike Lee character. Like a guy from one of his movies. His name is like Snake Murder.
That would be a cool nickname.
What do I
Or a Kojima character.
what do I think about snake murder? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think snakes should be able to get a firearm without like a waiting period.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Is that what the question is? I've seen cartoon representations of snakes holding knives with the end of their tail. I don't like that
That
either.
would be pretty dope. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Well, I murdered a snake the other day.
Oh, you're talking
yeah.
about the murder of snakes.
Yes. Snake murder.
Oh, like St. Patrick.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but this is Justin.
Yeah.
Patrick was the other show.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was the other show.
I did murder a snake. It was, and I don't really feel that bad about it. I was mowing the lawn and it just was there, and I was like, well, time to run this fucker over. And I did. And at first it wasn't like super dead. So I did it again, and I was like, all right, I think it's dead now, but let me make sure. So I went in the garage and I got a shovel, and I hit it again with the shovel. And then I threw it in a trash bag and threw it in the trash. And that's my story about murdering a snake.
What are you going to do about all the rats now?
Well, it was a little garter snake. I don't think it was doing anything with those rats, actually.
Garter snake.
Yeah.
That's the sexiest of the snakes.
Right? Yeah.
The garter snake. The corset snake. The underwire bra snake.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't even think those things are like, I don't even know what their purpose is in life. I'm sure they do something, but they're just little snakes. And then it was trying to get in my garage, and I was like, I'm not having that. So when it came back, like, time to murder this snake. And so I murdered it.
And now it'll be waiting for you in heaven.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, luckily it doesn't have anything to bite me with or whatever, so. Or it'll be 10 times bigger now. Who knows? Anyway, that's my story
if that
about
had been
snake
me,
murder.
I would have been running because I can't abide snakes.
Yeah.
I'm like Indiana Jones.
These, I don't know if you've ever seen one of these, Julian. They're not big enough to be intimidating. It looks like
Doesn't matter.
Looks like a large worm.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, it's unnerving how they move, for sure. I get it. Which is why I killed it and felt nothing.
Yeah.
I haven't really told anybody that I murdered this snake until now. But now I've told everybody.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't really need the negative reaction that I might receive from murdering this snake.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to get it out somewhere.
So clearly you feel some sort of guilt about it, and it's like the telltale heart in your trash can.
No, not really.
right
I
now.
just don't want to people are sympathetic towards animals, and I don't want to deal with it.
Right.
Which I get. Like, if I murdered if I ran over a cat with the lawnmower, I'd feel awful.
Yeah.
That would be different. But I was like, fuck this snake, man. Fuck that thing.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
I mean, it's ingrained in all humans after the Garden of Eden.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. I don't think
John
that was
knows what
a
I'm talking
garbage
about. He grew up religious.
Yeah.
That's why I don't eat apples.
snake. Fair enough. Anyway. that's enough
Or
about
treat
me.
women with respect.
That's why I killed my brother.
That's good. That's
That's
good.
why I smear lamb's blood on doors.
There
I'm trying
you
to think of other biblical things.
go.
It's why I have the holy, but also the holiest of holies in my domicile.
That's why we all commit sodomy. I don't really know anymore. Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, apparently.
Some of us could only dream.
That's why
That's one of thinking back, that's one of those, like, when you stop to really, like, think about what you're taught in from the Bible. So you're telling me that the people of Sodom and Gomorrah were so down bad that they heard that there was an angel and they were like, let us fuck it.
Yeah.
And, like, the entire town was like, we gotta fuck this angel, to every single person. And I'm like, every single person in this entire city was like, oh, I want a piece of that angel ass.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just enjoy God's unwilling, or not really unwilling, but just he has no mercy with the reset button. Like, he does it, like, I don't know how many times. He's just like, and he does it in different ways too. Like, he gets bored with the one way. It's like, this time maybe a flood. Let's just do that. We'll save all the animals that I like. They're fun to look at. Get this fucking weird Noah guy to fucking build a boat. He'll do it. He'll do anything. What a fucking noob.
And the upcoming reset, to be determined on how he wants that to play out, is we just know it's going to happen.
Still waiting.
But no information about how it's going to roll out.
Right.
There's not even any type of roadmap
for
it. Like, by now you would expect to have some milestones.
Just be on the lookout for bushes on fire and somebody talking to it. That's your guy. He'll know. Yeah. Anyway,
we've gone wildly off course.
That's fine.
Yeah. One thing to talk about as far as, like, announcement goes, which is that we do have a new poll up on the Patreon for the next edition of the Suffer Select. Have a couple games that are both well regarded, but are different types of kryptonite for Julian and Justin. Your choices are Thimbleweed Park and the Talos Principle. I just checked. Right now, we have broken the tie. Thank fuck, because before I looked just now, it was tied, and that always happens on these polls. So
it's a close one.
It's a close one. Any paid patron, including at the Key Grip tier, has the ability to vote for the Suffer Select poll. And also, I did release the most recent episode to all paid patrons. It was a really good one. And
there you go.
In case you are not aware of, like, what's been going on over at the Suffer Select, now you get a nice little taste of it with a episode that seemed to be pretty well regarded.
There you go. But
you'll have until 7:30 Central on July 10th to get your votes in over on the Patreon page if you're a member. And that's it for that. I've got, like, a couple things, but I can save those for later, as far as just, like, not really like the games I want to talk about, just, like, kind of talking points. But
sure.
John Gholson,
hi.
It is your first episode of this season. Not for lack of trying, but just because you've been extremely busy. It's a good time to catch up, because even though you and I have been hanging out more often, we haven't really talked personally either lately, because you've been so busy and I've been dying. So, like, catch us up on what you've been up to.
Well, first of all, we're all dying.
Fair. At all times.
So the only reason I'm on the show today is because I quit my job.
Fun.
It's afforded me the opportunity to appear tonight. I have not had a day at home I haven't had to go somewhere since Mother's Day. And I'm not even, like, a full-time employee. We kind of fell into this thing of, like, I my acting class has an activity where everybody has to draw. Julian's talked about this before, but everybody has to draw a name of one of the students in the class, and we have to make a film around that person using like local cast and crew. Like, you can't spend any money, et cetera, et cetera. The problem is that when you take 15 people and you do that with 15 people, and you say, okay, all 15 of you need to make films with each other. Within like a 3-month, 4-month period, it's sort of like it becomes like a huge bottleneck because everybody is like acting in each other's films and being the crew for each other's films, and it's really challenging. So there was that. There were my 2 part-time jobs, one of which the schedule grew increasingly inflexible up until the point that it was a bad week. There's a lot of stuff. I don't really want to get into it, but it came down to like, for me, it was like an entry-level job, and I was kind of looking at the way that the week had gone, really the past 3 or 4 weeks had gone, and going, why do I care so much? Like, why am I investing so much time and energy when nobody else is and nobody else seems to care? And I was kind of like, at the end of the day, I make as much as the 16-year-old who's in high school, like hired off the streets. So I was sort of like, why am I concerned? And I can't necessarily make other people show the same amount of care.
You'll have that.
And that, coupled with schedule and flexibility, which became a real problem. I got so I don't remember if Julian mentioned on the show, but I got a role on an HBO series.
Cool.
That shot about 2 weeks ago. Yeah. And that was really dicey, and it was already becoming a thing where I was like, I'm scared I'm going to have to end up choosing between this job and the show. And HBO didn't pay very well, to the point that like the couple days on the show would have been less than a paycheck from this job. And I was like, it sucks to have to go, oh, sorry, HBO, I can't do your series because I got to go work at the mall. Like, it's just...
Which really shows like what a crazy state of affairs we're at in the entertainment industry.
I would not expect. I will not lie. Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty low paid. Not a big deal though. It was a good opportunity.
Right.
Yeah.
So that had already come up, and then I have talked about this on the show before. There's a thing called right of first refusal. And when you audition and you go to callback, if your callback's successful, you get what's called hold the dates or right of first refusal. We hear right of first refusal a lot. Hold the dates. It's interchangeable. Basically, It means we don't know if we want you, but we think that we do. So this is when we're shooting. Don't schedule anything that day until we tell you whether or not we actually want you. And last year in 2025, I had 8 different hold the dates, which means that I went through the audition process. I had successful callbacks. They said hold the dates, and then the jobs didn't go through. The first one, I remember we went to a steak dinner at Longhorn Steakhouse because I was like, I got a job, which was not like, I thought it was such a sure thing. And then I didn't get it. I was like, okay, I'll have to remember next time not to like celebrate the hold the dates.
Right.
And then like the second one, that sucked. Third one sucked. Somewhere around the fourth one, about halfway through, I started to like let it go a little bit, where it was just like, oh, okay, this is just a thing that happens. And I kept getting my hopes up. And I would hear from other actor friends like, oh man, like you're crushing it, you're killing it, whatever. And it was like, yeah, but I'm never booking. Like I'm always the second choice. And it's really weird. It's a weird headspace to be like, man, I was second choice a lot last year and didn't get anything. It's sort of like, I know other people aren't even getting that second choice, so I'm humble and grateful, but it also has no money attached to being the second choice.
Yeah. Right.
So I have not ever I've also never had a hold the dates go through. I've either been hired or hold the dates and released. Every single time it's hold the dates, I'm released. And I did an audition for a popular spirits company, and the callback went well, and they said, hold the dates. And I looked at the calendar and was like, I work those dates. And I was like, I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm available because I never get the hold the date stuff anyways. And I have yet to book anything that says hold the dates. And I thought, but I bet this is the one time. Like, I bet because I have a conflict, I'm like, this will be the one time that I'm booked. And sure enough, I'm booked. Yep. I got this freaking ad for a popular spirit. I don't know if I can say what it is, so I'm trying to.
Fair enough.
I don't know whether or not it's secret. At some point, it won't be. So I'm just like being chill about it. And the reason I took the mall job was because of schedule flexibility, and I lost a lot of schedule flexibility in the last couple months, and there were a lot of like death by a million cuts, but all the million cuts happened in like a 2-week period of time.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah, and one of the things yesterday, in order to free myself up for this ad, I worked a double, and the girl who was going to be my mid-shift called out, which means I had no food or water and also couldn't like break at all. So that happened.
Yeah.
Corporate was supposed to have an in-store visit, so I looked forward to that all day. Because I thought, well, at least I can go get some water and like we can talk about the store and all this kind of stuff. And they didn't show, nor did they have the courtesy of telling me they weren't going to show.
Boy, that sounds like corporate every single time.
Yeah, and then this morning or yesterday afternoon, one of the girls that works there threw up and then was like, "Oh, I can't work tomorrow because I threw up today." I was like, "Okay," and I thought I was going to see corporate, and I didn't. So I was going to tell corporate, hey, you might not have an opener tomorrow when they came to the store. But because they didn't come to the store, I didn't get to tell them, hey, you might not have an opener tomorrow. I went to class after work. Then I realized it's like midnight right now. I'm not going to worry about this. I'll just tell my coworker, like, hey, here's his email. Tell him you're not coming in.
Yeah.
And then she got really mad at me and was fussing at me. It was the second time this week that she's gotten mad at me over her stuff. And I was like, you know what? I typed like a response and erased it. And I typed another response and erased it. And I typed another response and erased it. And I was just like, what could I possibly say? And why do I care? Like, it's her that's sick. It's her responsibility. I worked a week sick, symptomatic, because nobody would take my shifts. That's the way it works. You either show up or don't.
Yeah.
Like, and ultimately, I'm not responsible for her.
Right.
And I was like, yesterday sucked. I'm disabled. Just straight up, I am. Something I'm having to learn to deal with because I haven't worked a job where I've been on my feet since I've been disabled because my disability happened and I was working a desk job. I have a lot of trouble standing on my feet for extended periods of time. And if I have to do it for a really, 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 really long time with no break, it affects my second day. And yesterday, today's Friday? So what happened yesterday was my double. Today, I was stiff-legged, in pain, et cetera, et cetera.
Worth noting, because I know this, and John is too kind. Corporate took away their chairs.
That's what they'll do. Yep.
They came in and
swooped in
and took them all. I get why. They don't want teenagers sitting there and like being on their phone the whole time. Like, I totally get it. And I did pull the stool out yesterday because I was like, I'm not working this double with no relief without being able to like sit down on occasion. But even then, not having an extended period that I could sit down and actually take an actual break. Yeah. So I looked at all of this and I kind of went, I don't know why I care so much. And I was talking to Wendy and was like, I've never just up and quit. Like, I always feel like I want to give 2 weeks notice because what if I need to work there again? What if I want to work there again? And she looked at me and she goes, do you honestly want to work there again?
Yeah, there's like, some jobs.
Yeah. I was like, no, I guess not. And I liked the store. I liked the job. But yeah, it was a very, very, very fast death by 1,000 cuts. It was like a lot of little things that happened in the last 2 weeks. There's more to it than that as well. Like, there's more, but it's like kind of looking around going, be like, I can't be the only one that cares and we all make the same amount of money. And yet I feel like, oh, this should be better and everybody should be better and we should be all hands on deck and we should be a team. and I'm the only one that feels that way, so I'm the odd man out. Let me excuse myself from this job. Goodbye. Thank you. I did get an email back that was like, hey, call me. We want you to stay, like all that kind of stuff from the higher ups. And I was like, I don't think I'm responding to this email. I think I'm done. I've got some, it's not like I lack for things to do. I've got a comic book to finish. I've got a feature screenplay that I'm writing that I need to finish. So I've got stuff to take care of. I mean, honestly, this office is a mess right now because I don't have the leg stamina to do like some housework that needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it'll all shake out. It's a little sad that it couldn't work out because I really did like the job. It's just my career as an actor, and any job I take, I think is going to have to accommodate that. And if it can't accommodate that, then that job is not worth it, especially at like minimum wage.
Yeah, I just want to step in real quick because I think this is pertinent to the show that John and I have been working on currently for our Patreon. It'll be free eventually when we're done with it. But Retailer Therapy, where we've been talking about our time working at Game Fellas together. I've come into the store when John's working a couple times since he's been there, and it took me back because I don't know how our boss Ben managed it, but he hired like a bunch of people that had like really strong work ethic. Sure. Like me, John, Joe, Jim, like just like there were others, Corey, but like, but I think those of the ones I just named were like the ones that were just like, no, we're in it to win it. And like, we're here to go above and beyond like any time that it's, needed. And sometimes when it's not needed. Right. And I saw that in John, like every time that I would like walk into that store where it's like, he immediately had like this sense of ownership over it. Like, no, this is like my domain. Like I am going to make sure that the shelves are stocked and organized and that the customers are being taken care of. And it wasn't just a thing of like, they would walk in and then he just kind of like gives them a head bob and then like goes back about his business. Like you see a lot in retail these days. And it's not even necessarily like a generational thing, right? Like there have always been people like that and people like us, like even back in our like heyday of retail, right? You would see it when you go to different stores, and it was like that was like kind of the night and day difference between Game Fellas and then if you went into like an electronics boutique or a Funko Land or a GameStop, right? Is that it was like a very palpable difference. And to answer John's rhetorical question, why do I care so much? Like that's because that's who you are, right? Like, and I don't know, we don't have to go deep into it, but like basically the store ended up without leadership, and John was like, I guess I'm going to lead this store. And
but nobody wanted that. Like nobody,
right? Yeah,
like nobody really wanted that. They said, why don't you apply? They said, why don't you apply to be manager? Gave me a link, and the link was dead. I found out. I don't know if Julian knows this. I can't remember if I've told you this, but the reason the link was dead is because they already hired somebody.
Yeah, you told me that, and that's who was supposed to come by, right? The new manager, and then they didn't show up. Yeah. So,
well, it was not them that didn't show up. But it doesn't matter. Those details are not relevant.
Right.
But yeah, it was, and again, that's one of those little cuts where you're like, oh, you didn't even care enough to tell me that you'd hire somebody. You thought you gave me a live link, just thinking it would like placate me. When in reality, I didn't ask for the application in the first place. What I was asking for was, we need to hire somebody. I've been hiring manager before, and we lost 3 people in like a month and a half. We need bodies. Like we have no schedule flexibility. And if somebody's sick, it's going to be a train wreck. And that was what I told them like 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And then scheduling, when it came to the schedule, it was like, hey, I've made schedules before. We need a schedule. Let me make a schedule. They said, no, get the employee's availability, send it to us. We'll make the schedule. So I did. Then they ignored the availability. And then I have employees coming to me going like, why did you do that? And I'm like, I didn't do that. Yeah, but you got our availability, and now our schedule, like, we can't work these shifts. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I didn't do that.
So essentially, they want you to be manager and take all the heat without getting the pay or any of that shit.
Honestly, no. I don't think they wanted me to do. I think they wanted me to just bust freight,
Open
stand
the
in
store
mall.
and-
yeah, I don't think
Okay.
they wanted me to take on managerial duties, but the store needed them, and it was
Right.
me going. I've done this before. Hey, I can do this, and them kind of going like, okay, cool, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay,
Yeah,
well
fair
then
enough.
why am I even offering that?
Fair
like
enough.
and then feeling so much weight of it, like feeling
Yeah.
like it was my problem and it was my responsibility, and like, oh, I have to make sure we have schedules for these kids, and I have to make sure we have another employee for these people. And at the end of the day, it's like, but why? Because the 16-year-old that works there makes the same amount as the 50-year-old with managerial experience. So
Right.
why was I vested? And at that point, I was like, well, then I'll walk away from my job like a teenager to Jack in the Box then.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, because it's not even that like anybody in leadership saw like how good you were at the job, because it was always like you by yourself. So
Sounds right.
yeah, and I honestly, just listening to that little last bit, I wonder if they worked for Sony at a certain point, because I don't know if y'all saw, but so Sony, they gutted Bungie this week, and then literally like a day or two after that said, we really believe in live service games and we think that is the future, so we're going to continue making live service games. And it's like, you gutted the company that you brought on to help you make live service games. What are y'all doing?
Well,
like,
they didn't do the live service game that they wanted, Julian. That's,
I guess.
Yeah,
I wonder if Phil Spencer secretly went over to Sony.
that'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun, actually. It sucks that it worked out that way for you, John, because
Yeah.
I did think it was a good fit for you.
and it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
To a
also
point,
it gave
to
me an
a point,
excuse to come visit you occasionally and then get shitty Thai food.
Yeah.
Right.
And so now I don't have an excuse. Also, I was hoping they would get more blockies and that you would inform me when they had more blockies. They only had that one case or whatever.
Yeah,
and
we only ever got them once.
but I cleared out the rest of what they had when I went there that
Oh,
time.
there you go.
That's okay. We'll hit Guzu Gallery. They got all the blockies over there.
Yeah. Well, now I can't afford blockies, so we'll talk about that later.
Fair enough.
This is actually more because like I actually don't know, but because you've called me in for to help you read for auditions quite a bit, and then there hasn't been as much lately, but then at the same time it feels like you're getting more bites, if you will. Like,
Yeah.
you've booked some stuff, but then also like, I know that like I can cut this if you want,
No.
but
Well, I don't
like
know.
you have had like multiple auditions for a show that you really want to
Yeah.
land, which is
Yeah. Don't say the
something
name.
that
Don't
sounds-
say the name of the show. Actually,
No,
have
no.
I said the name of the show? I may have already said on Blue Sky.
No, I don't
know
think
I
you have.
haven't. I haven't. You're right. I have not.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yes,
Good
there's a
job.
show. There's a show that I like, and I keep graduating upwards in auditions. Although that now that they're deep into season 2, that was that a hint? That may be taken care of. Like, I don't know that they're still hiring, but there's always season 3, I guess. But
Yeah.
it was interesting to see the reality of like, okay, I'm a security guard with like one line, and then I'm a cop, and then I'm a character with a name, and then like, so I kept like graduating upwards through my failure, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it was like I was finding like they weren't hiring me, but they were keeping me in the mix and giving me more to do on the next one up, which was it's a comfy place to be as an actor, because
Sure,
it means, okay, we like your stuff and we're trying to find a place to like slot you in. And it's for a show
Yeah.
that I watch and like. I think
Oh, there you go.
the tone of it is kind of the tone is appealing to me as an actor, because it's weird to talk about yourself out loud in terms of like skills or whatever, but it's like, I feel
Yeah.
like I have like an innate sense of humor, but I'm not necessarily like corny or over the top about it.
Sure.
And it makes a nice fit for like something that's like a crime show that has a little bit of humor to it, because it's like, it allows me to be real in situations that might be kind of funny, which is I think a good place for me to live as an actor,
Yeah.
using just what my skills are.
So I didn't realize that there had been that kind of upgrade to the auditions. I just knew that you had the multiple auditions.
I've had 5 so far. Yeah.
Yeah, that almost makes me think that someone there is like, I don't want to waste this role on this guy, but I want to keep him fresh in everybody's heads, because at a certain point I want him for like a decent sized thing, right? Like, and not to get your hopes up or anything, but that's like the inkling that I get from that.
Yeah. And I've heard stories from other actors that audition for stuff like 8 to 15 times before they finally break through and land something. And I'm right now, I'm just happy that it didn't end. Like I'm finding satisfaction in the fact that they keep coming. Even if I don't get it, I actually do think it's kind of cool that I auditioned for it as many times as I did. So, yeah.
And one thing, since the last time that you were on, actually before then, because the last time you were on was actually for Game of the Year, so it's been quite a while since we actually just like caught up with you on the stage select.
Yeah.
You have finally started dabbling or dipping your toe into like voice acting auditioning.
Oh, so, yeah, lots and lots of that.
Oh, that's good.
So how are you finding that, just as far as like the process?
It's a lot of those auditions require you to be your own sound engineer, and I don't enjoy the consideration of a technical limitation affecting my employability.
Right.
Because I'm not a sound engineer.
Yeah,
so
I've seen a lot of those like voice actors with like their like the little bubble and shit that they go, like the little sound booth and homemade shit, and it's a big setup, it seems like. So I totally get
actually,
that.
now you mentioned that, John, when I was watching the extended look at the Transformers pinball machine, they showed footage of Peter Cullen and Frank Welker recording their lines for the pinball machine. Peter Cullen was in a studio, but Frank Welker was very obviously doing it from home with like a suboptimal setup, and I was like, oh, that's wild. That like fucking Frank Welker is, doing these line reads from clearly like a home office, and it's not even like fully like baffled or anything like that, like you would expect it to be, because you would think that like, oh no, we're gonna bring him into a studio, and maybe he was just like, I'm not coming to a studio for this.
Oh yeah, people are going to him too. So like he's not auditioning for stuff. Like people are saying, hey, we want Frank Welker. So what does he care? Like let the sound engineer figure his audio out.
Right. I was just surprised to see it, because I was just like, I would expect that when you're, especially when you're like established, right? Like they're bringing you in to, they're doing the money to like bring you into the studio or whatever. But it might have been like, for this payday, like I don't feel like traveling or whatever, so I'll just do it from home. It's fine. You only need like 10 lines from me or whatever.
Yeah. I auditioned for Torchy's Tacos. That's the only thing that I've seen where I saw the commercial, like I saw the spot that I auditioned for. And it was like, I thought that my audition was pretty good, and then I saw the spot, and it was like a woman. And it's like, oh, it wouldn't have mattered. Like, it wouldn't, it was, it's sort of like it wasn't mine to get in the first place. And it's, the voiceover stuff is, I have a complicated relationship with it, because nobody was ever telling me that I could be an actor. Let me back up. Like, people were telling me that, oh, if you get into voiceover, the world's your oyster. Like, if you get into voiceover, that's going to be it for you. You're going to be getting so many jobs. And nobody was ever doing that with me as an actor. In fact, for the longest time, I think people saw it as just kind of a hobby, and were like, oh, it's a thing that Gholson does. Like, he doodles and he acts. And it's like, it wasn't really until the past year that I felt like I could reframe that conversation and have people consider me in a different way and consider my abilities in a different way. And I've sort of successfully, quote unquote, like rebranded myself as an actor, which is fine. It's good. I say fine. That sounded really dismissive. That's really great. It's really great.
It was fun to share like your appearance on a podcast this week where they were like, oh, artist and actor John Gholson.
Yeah. But the reality is, like, people were telling me my whole life that I'd kill it in voiceover, and I haven't made a dime in voiceover. Like, I did 2 commercials, like, 15, almost, well, closer to 20 years ago at this point. I did 2 local commercials here in town, and I haven't been crushing it as a voiceover actor. I haven't been employed as a voiceover actor, and I've done some auditions that I thought were really, really good. I did one for like a creamery that I still go back and listen to because I'm like, why didn't I get this? Like this, I sound so good. And I don't know what the deal is. So I have a complicated relationship with it because I think that I might have believed the hype a little too much. That it was going to be a thing where like, oh man, this is going to be like steady income. And it's like, nope, it's going to be no income at all. You're never going to see anyone want you for voiceover. And I'm like, oh, all right, okay. Well, it is what it is.
Well, I don't know, because like you do have like a really powerful voice and a lot of range in what you can do, and you know people who have done stuff in that realm. So I almost feel like it's a thing where, like so many things, right? Where it's just like you kind of need that introduction to the people that
well, the DCU online stuff is like the big one for me because it's here in town, and it's like like seeing other fellow actors. Yeah, seeing Betsy get like Big Barda and then play the villain in like one of the newer updates, and it's like if I could get in with that crew, that would be great. But I don't know how, and I still have the weird thing of just like going to another actor and being like, hey, can I have some of those jobs that you are fighting for? Like,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know if so much of that as it is like, hey, can you put me in touch with like, you know, because there might be a situation where it's like they know they're not right for this particular character, but you are, and they let, you know, whoever know, hey, you should talk to John Gholson about this one.
I'm confident I could do it if given the opportunity, but right now it's been tumbleweeds. So
yeah, there was something else that I wanted to go into from there, and I am drawing a total blank. This is great.
Perfect.
This is great podcasting. Shit.
Oh boy.
Maybe the cancer has gotten to my brain.
Was it about me?
It was about you.
Was it about Faff Night? Was it about the film?
No, but I did want to know about that. Because I really wanted to attend, and not only could I not really make it, but I also really couldn't afford it, and I was in a pretty bad way physically that day anyway. But yeah, because all of those movies you talked about, they did a viewing of them. Yeah,
well, that was the other night. That was Wednesday night. It went fine. I'm not crazy about my own. I'm not like, it's hard. Making movies is hard. I was reluctant to do the exercise in the first place because I didn't want to half-ass it, and because of the limitations, I felt like it was going to end up being half-assed, and it kind of is. I think the thing that's holding mine back the most is locations. I kept losing locations, and some of the locations that I had to replace it with are not cinematic at all. And it's like, I don't like the look of the movie, and none of it looks the way that I pictured in my head. And I don't blame the cinematographer for that. I blame the locations. I just don't like the locations in my own. I think mine is fine. I think it's okay. You know, I showcased my actress well, which was the goal. I think the writing / story of it is solid enough, but ultimately, like, I'm not in a hurry to show it to a lot of people because I think it looks bad. I think my actors are fine. I think it looks bad.
And I will reiterate what I told you, which is that I think you're too hard on yourself, because I especially like having been there for like the filming of one of the scenes, like seeing the actual finished product, like, wow, that looks like so much better than how it looked to me just like being there.
Yeah.
Like because it was kind of like this weird makeshift space for this scene, but like it worked to me in the actual like final cut of it. But also I think that like the premise is really interesting. And I think it plays.
Yeah.
You know, to borrow that phrase. I was actually hoping that you put it on YouTube so that I can show it to people that I know, because I'm in it also.
I'd have to recut it, and I can't recut it because it won't fit on my computer.
Yeah,
and
there you go.
So it's in limbo because my computer's not big enough for me to house it, and it has copywritten music in it. So
yeah.
So I do have a version with no sound.
Well, I mean,
that I wanted to add, like I could add copyright free music to the end, but I can't edit it on my computer. I can't manipulate it to edit it on my computer. So,
yeah, I mean, you can still put it up on YouTube because you're not monetized. Like that's, you know, it's not gonna.
That is true.
It'll tell you that like oh, there's a copyright claim on it, but there's nothing to claim because it's not generating any revenue.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
you can put it up there. It's just
it just kind of scolds you about it. It's like, oh boy,
they don't remove it anymore, because I think that's what they did with the DCMA that I got from WWF or WWE back in the day when
well, WWE is a different beast.
But it wasn't even. So the only time I've ever had a video removed was when I live streamed a plug and play WWF controller. Like, you remember you could go to like toy stores and buy those controllers that you plug into the TV and play?
Yeah.
And they had, in the early 2000s, they had one that was very similar to like a Sega Genesis wrestling game.
Yeah.
But it was all modern wrestlers. So it was like John Cena, Chris Benoit, Booker T, Batista. I think it had like a 6-person roster. And I was showing it off, and I made a video mostly so I could show off how the themes sounded, because they all sounded like Genesis versions of the Benoit theme or like the John Cena theme. And I thought that was interesting. And it was like maybe not even a minute, and it got struck down because it was like, oh, this is their copyright material. And it was like, that's weird. And maybe things have changed for WWE, but at the time I was like, that's really weird, because there's no other videos on YouTube about this game, and it's just footage from the game. It was odd.
Now it goes through like a pre-screen thing, and they sense it right away, and it'll tell you basically if it's okay or not. It'll come back and be like, this is this, and it's going to have a claim on it or whatever. And you can go, that's fine. As long a lot of them will go, it can still be played on YouTube. You just can't make money on it.
Yeah.
And if that's cool,
and
you're good.
Channel's not monetized anyway.
I only had one video that I tried to put up that just instantly was like, this is banned, and this will be banned in every country because of this song. And it was the video for Panda Hero. The stream I did of Panda Hero would not let me, for whatever reason, the song in Panda Hero is super fucking copyrighted to where it's banned.
The singular song in Panda Hero, might I add.
Yeah, it's super copyrighted. You cannot put that anywhere. I was banned in every country but like 2 of them, and I was like, okay, well, I just won't put this up here.
Yeah. Like, I'm still I need to continue doing it because I have forgotten to do it, but as I've been, uploading all of the Nerds Without Pants episodes into that YouTube archive, like every episode, gets like a copyright ding, but it's just like letting me know. And like, there are some where it's like, oh, this is blocked in certain regions. And then I'll look and it's like, oh, it's blocked in Russia. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like no one in Russia was going to care about this upload of a podcast from 9 years ago anyway. So like that's fine. So yeah. So don't let that dissuade you. But
I'd still like to recut it. There's some fine tuning I'd like to do if I'm to post it online. So I just got to figure that out. It won't never be online, but
okay.
I gotta figure it out. I also got to show you the one that they made for me, because that was an interesting experience too. So
I believe.
Yeah, I really wanted to see all of them, so I was bummed that I couldn't make. And I also thought, for whatever reason, when I was at that shoot with you, I thought that it was like months out from when we were shooting. I for some reason I got in my head that it was like middle of summer that was going to happen, or something like that. Yeah, and then like gaming wise, I know you've been super busy lately.
I think but I haven't been on in a while either, and I don't think I have been on. I don't think I've been on since I beat Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that you had beaten Infinite Wealth.
Yeah, that's why I gave it back to you. I played it all the way through.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. I've totally forgot. Like, I was thinking about that the other day because I was like, I let you borrow Trails in the Sky, and I was like, oh wait, he hasn't finished Like a Dragon, but I totally memory hold that you gave that back to me.
So my deal was I wanted to play Pirate Yakuza, and it was on sale, and I picked it up for like $16 or something, and I was like, oh, I want to play Infinite Wealth because I heard it's a direct sequel. It's not as much of a direct sequel as people say that it is. It is a sequel, but it's like, I thought it was literally going to be like, oh, I better play that one because it's going to pick up right where this left off. Yeah,
I mean, it does.
Yeah,
like,
ish. I mean, yeah, but you can play the pirate one. I could have played the pirate one without, like, that, like, it wasn't as like, okay, here's chapter 2 of the same story that I thought it was. It's sort of just like, oh, there's some of the events that happened where it's like, it references the things that took place, but it's not necessarily like a continuation of the story. It is, but it's not. I don't know how to describe it. It's just,
well, it's not Ichiban and his crew like having another adventure, but it does take place in the aftermath of you know, the whole thing in Hawaii and the Yakuza like alliance with the nuclear waste and stuff,
but in a completely different setting with completely different gameplay. Like it wasn't as much of like it's more like the show The Good Wife and then the show The Good Fight than 2 episodes of The Good Wife back to back. I don't know. I'm comparing Infinite Wealth to like this legal show from 15 years ago, but it was more like that.
I've never heard of.
Oh, The Good Fight is honestly one of the best television shows I've ever seen in my life. The Good Fight is so good, but The Good Wife was like a legal show, like a legal drama, and Christine Baranski's character from The Good Fight goes off and joins a new firm, or from The Good Wife, Christine Baranski joins a new firm. It's like an all-black firm, and she's like the only white woman working there. Yeah, and that show becomes The Good Fight. And that show is phenomenally good. It's so freaking good. But they're so different from each other. And I'd compare it more like it's a spinoff. It is a sequel, but it lives more like a spinoff does, where it's like everything is different. It just shares the events that happened in the first one. I liked Infinite Wealth a lot. I did come around on the weird hotel building island because once I realized how kind of like repetitive and gameplay loopy it was easy for me to settle into and go ahead and complete that. I think the only thing that I didn't necessarily like chase after to 100% was taking pictures of the perverts or whatever. I didn't pursue that storyline at all.
I did the intro quest for that, and I was like, I really don't like the framing of this because it seems like it's just these kind of gay bodybuilder coded guys, and the reason they're called perverts is because of that and no other reason, because they're just kind of going about their business. They're not doing anything weird other than like dancing or whatever, and I just didn't. It felt icky to me in a way that I was like, I'm not doing this quest line.
Good old Japan.
Yeah, there's like a cultural reconciliation that hasn't happened yet. I mean, I think you see a little bit of that, wasn't it? I can't remember what the details were. There were like trace elements of that in Persona 5, but I can't remember to what extent. Some
of it, there's definitely some in the iSomnium Files games.
Yeah.
That guy was on Twitter and was just like schooling people on trans rights and stuff like that. It was kind of great. But yeah, that
well, in a positive way.
In a positive way, yes.
Yeah, but there's been stuff in the Persona games I know that like, especially in they've corrected it a little bit. I know that like I think what was it the one that I just played 3. Like apparently they kind of they tamed down some of the like gay panic that one of the characters had in the original version.
Right. I gotcha. I misunderstood.
You know, at a certain point, right, you kind of have to start holding them accountable, but it's always been like, well, Japan's a different culture and like they're just a little, you know, they're not as progressive in this and that. It's like, right, but like they have the internet now and they can see
they have gay
like what's going on in the rest of the world.
There are gay Japanese people.
Crazy.
I also did all the Sujimon stuff, which I had never done in any of those games. Like I've always ignored that, and for some reason I ended up chasing all that and like wealth, Infinite Wealth as well. It's like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. So that was the big one that I finished since the last time we talked, and then I started playing. I kind of like had some, like, oh, I've got some extra money and I want a game, and then kind of had some fails. Pirate Yakuza, I don't know if it's because I had just done Like a Dragon, but it didn't stick with me. I thought it was like too silly, like one step over the line into like, this is not sticking to my ribs. I think I'm about 10 hours in, but there was something about it that just wasn't taking with me like the other games did, and I felt like I'm not entirely sure why. It may come down to the fact that I don't think I like the beat 'em up ones as much as I like the turn-based ones too.
Yeah.
So I didn't really like the fights, and I at some point, at 10 hours in, they kind of stopped being fun to me. Like, they felt more like a nuisance to get to whatever the next thing was. And then I tried Monster. So I had kind of like, I'd read good reviews of Monster Hunter Wilds. I'd been like really interested in Monster Hunter Wilds. I thought it looked cool, the ideas, reading stuff, watching videos of people playing it, and everything sounded really cool. And when it went on sale, I picked that up and was like, okay, I can't really afford a lot of games right now. So whatever I get is going to have to last me like a good, like 3-4 months. And like, I got Monster Hunter Wilds, and that also didn't quite click with me. It's overly complicated to like I don't understand why it's so complicated. Like menus within menus within menus, and really when it comes down to it, a lot of the battles are just like, can you just keep hitting this thing? Like, just as long as you can just keep hitting it, and it'll take for fucking ever. Yeah, just keep hitting it, and it's like, okay. So even some of the stuff where it's like, oh, you have to really strategize, and you have to really figure out, and you have to like go in prepped, and you have to blah blah blah, and it was like, yeah, I guess. But everything kind of just seems to be sort of just run up on it and hit it over and over and over for like a good, because it's like a series of boss battles one after the other, right? You don't have smaller ones. It's everything is like a good 10-minute battle.
Yeah. And I do know just from hearing people talk about that game in particular that they really like kind of sanded down the edges as far as like apparently like the story mode, like the ramp there is like significantly lower than it is in previous games, and all of the stuff that you're talking about doesn't really come into play until after you beat the game and you kind of go into like the end game stuff. But the thing is, I think they tried that to like bring in new players, but what ended up happening is the seasoned players were bored, and then the new players, while they had like an easier time to get in, also didn't really see like what people have been raving about all this time, because it does come down to like, you just kind of have to outlast this monster basically and not die.
It's fun enough, I guess. It's just a thing of like, I really was hoping it would like be something that would keep my interest for a good several weeks, because that's what I wanted a game that would last, and it was one of those things where like one weekend I couldn't play it, and then I've never been back to it. Where it was like, I didn't deliberately abandon it, like, oh, I'm done with this game. It was more just like, well, I had an interruption in the amount of times I was playing it, and because of that interruption, I've been like, no, I'm good, and I haven't returned back to the game. So with all that said, and people on the forums or on the Discord know this, I ended up picking up a game called Beyond Galaxyland, based on kind of the key art and some of the description, and ended up really liking that game a lot. And that was like, I think it was like $5 or $6, but it was a side-scrolling turn-based RPG with elements of it that remind me of Beyond Good and Evil. It reminds me of Pokemon sometimes. I thought the writing was good. I thought the world was interesting. It's going for like a retro graphics thing, but in a way that reminded me of PC games over like, oh, it's trying to look like Super Nintendo. It was like everything is pixelated, but not like any pixelated game I've ever seen before. And I was kind of like, I'm getting like a little bit of like Commodore vibes. And it reminded me, some of the graphic stuff reminded me a little bit of like early LucasArts in the way that like
Mhm.
like Maniac Mansion or Zack McCracken or like even the early Indiana Jones games or early Monkey Island games. There were aspects of it that reminded me more of that than necessarily like, oh, it looks like a Super Nintendo, I think, is what gets emulated the most when people try to do retro games. But
Yeah.
although now people are doing all the retro PS1 stuff, which you guys have talked about it at length.
Right.
But I ended up really liking Beyond Galaxyland. I was hoping I could get somebody else on the Discord to try it out, but nobody did. But I really like it. And I haven't played it in a good month and a half because I've been so busy. I literally have not played video games or watched movies at home that weren't. I've gone to the movies to watch some of the big summer blockbusters, but I've had to literally carve time out and go, this is my leisure this week as I am seeing this movie. And short of that, like, my life has been completely different. I have not had time at home at all for no good reason. Like, I wish I could say like, oh, I'm super busy or I'm on a TV series or whatever. It's like, no, between the mall and the medical sims and this filmmaking stuff, it's been relentless.
But that's a good reason. I mean, you've been busy because you've been like working a lot. It's, it may not necessarily be like doing the main thing that you want to be doing, which is the acting, but you've been doing that alongside like other stuff.
Oh, and that stuff's super satisfying, which again is why the mall job had to be the one that dropped, because I'm like, I'm tired, I'm burned out, I haven't been home. If there's anything I want to kill, it's the mall job, because I love my medical simulation job. I love that job because that is legitimately an acting job. Like, it is for real an acting job. I have a simulation I have to do, and I did it a few weeks ago, where I am a person whose wife and daughter were killed in a car crash, and an occupational therapist is coming in to talk to me about the next steps. And because of my acting class, I can play this part. And like, when they come to talk to me and they're like, what are you going to do when you get out of here? Every single student that comes in, I break down in tears when they ask me that question, because I'm like, what do you mean? I'm going to have a funeral. Like, what do you mean? What am I going to do when I get out of here?
Yeah.
And like, I did that shit 6 times in a row, back to back to back to back. And you want to talk about like a test of like your own acting abilities. And it's like, I'm proud of myself, because I was like, I carried through the same emotional weight, the same emotional stakes, realistic ones, where you're making the students cry, because the students are like, they're brand new, and they're like, well, how do we deal with this? Like, they're also like, oh God, like this, we thought this was just class, but this feels real. And it's like, that's the point of it. It's supposed to feel real to them. It's supposed to make them think about things they've not thought about before. So when they go out into the real world, and
they have that.
Yeah. And we meet with the students after to like let them out of the bubble and know like, hey, we're okay. Like, you did good, that sort of thing. And I love that job. So looking at the 3 things where it's like, okay, my creative stuff going on, my medical sims, or the mall. I mean, that's why the mall got sacrificed, right? It's like, if I'm going to have any of my own time back, it's going to be the mall thing. But yeah, so I haven't played shit. Like, I haven't played.
Right.
I mean, Beyond Galaxyland is, if things could gather dust on a hard drive, then that's what it's doing right now.
Right.
That's the last thing I played, and I really, really liked it.
Yeah. And I'm excited for you to crack into Trails, since you borrowed that from me.
So I did try both. I tried, because I borrowed 2 games from you, right? Did I borrow 2 games from you?
No. That one, I think.
No, I downloaded Frank Stone. That's what it was.
Oh, right. The supermassive game set in
downloaded Frank Stone. I played the first chapter of that. Whatever. We all know what those games are like. They all rise and fall in like how much you like whatever the particular story is. Because listening to you guys talk about it, I was kind of like, I didn't really like that one. Like, I know y'all liked Little Hope, and I couldn't get into Little Hope. I didn't like it at all.
not Little Hope.
But no, you said you didn't like it to the end. Like, you were like, that Little Hope let you down at the end. Little Hope let me down at the beginning, where I was I'm not into this. It's fine. It's not. I mean, to me, I think the one that I've liked the most is the Quarry. I thought the Quarry did the best job at the kitchen sink aspect that these games can sometimes have, where it's like they kind of throw a bunch of stuff at the wall, especially coming off of Until Dawn, which, if I had any particular complaint about Until Dawn, it was sort of like how many types of genres of horror it tried to like throw into the mix, and I thought
Sure.
that the quarry was a more successful attempt at how many different things can we throw into this game and have them stick. And I thought the story was also slightly more interesting. I liked the quarry a lot, but I've played Little Hope, and I played the one with Jesse Buckley, and I played the Ashley Tisdale one. I played all Man of Medan. I played all of them at this point. I fired Frank Stone up, and I was like, "Yep, it's one of these," and that's fine. And I'll keep
Right.
playing it. But it wasn't like a remarkable one of those. At least not the first chapter. That's all I played. I did fire up Trails. I fired up Trails of Trails,
Trails of Trails.
Trails of Trails, Chapter A. And I can never remember the name of this damn game. And I was kind of like, about it at the start, because I found the very initial conversations were highly anime in a way that I did not necessarily anticipate.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that little girl doesn't sound like a child. She sounds like an anime voice actor.
Yep.
And the dad is very anime dad. And I was like, this is all very, like, a little jarringly anime in a way that I did not expect. And then I started exploring and talking to people in the city. And I was like, oh, this could be dangerous. I was like, I don't...
Okay, yeah.
I was like...
Because I was going to tell you that, like, yeah, it's, and I mentioned it when I was talking about it, but it's very much a stop and smell the roses type of RPG. And it's like, the more you put into it, the more you get out of it, because all of those NPCs have new things to talk about after every event in the game.
Yeah.
And it's up to you how much of that you want. And I want a lot of that. Like, if anything, I didn't do enough of it on this one. And so when I play the second chapter, like during the break for the season, I'm going to remind myself, don't forget to go into all the buildings every time too, because there's NPCs in there that you forgot about that have the shit going on.
There's also, this is a really weird thing conceptually to try to describe about this particular game. There is the feeling that you are playing you have been Tronified, you have been pulled into the computer, and that you are playing a real version of like a 16-bit classic RPG. And I don't know how to describe that. It's sort of like when you're in buildings and when you're walking around towns and when you're talking to people, it's sort of like, I'm traveling to a place I've seen in a 16-bit RPG. I sound like an insane person. I can't.
No, I totally get what you're talking about.
I can't describe it any other way, because it's not even necessarily that it's photorealistic, nor does it look 16-bit. But it's like, this is the real version of what those 16-bit places look like, and now I'm here. And there's a way that the camera's framed as well, where it kind of puts you lower to the ground and close slightly. You are always inside of interiors of buildings. You're always slightly closer up than most RPGs place you, most JRPGs. Like, the camera's not pulled back very, very far. It's pulled back some, but you are slightly closer up. And you are also slightly lower to the ground when you're running around talking to people in a way that makes you feel there. It's a nebulous thing because it's a feel, right? It's not like, it's not something that I can like very strongly describe unless you've played a bunch of 16-bit RPGs and then you play this and you go, I'm getting to visit this 16-bit RPG world. Like, this is cool. That sound like a crazy person.
Right.
No, honestly, that's really cool to hear, because that's kind of what they did, because it wasn't a 16-bit RPG, it was more of a 32-bit RPG, but like literally what they did is they took this 2D sprite-based RPG that had like polygonal environments shot from an isometric perspective, and then they're like, no, but we're going to render everything in full 3D and you're going to be down on the street now, but it's 1-to-1, so you're literally picking up like exactly what they did to it. And I think that's really cool, like having not seen the original game at all, because I played a few hours of the original.
I've not seen not frame one of the original.
Yeah, if you go look at it, it'll be kind of wild, because you'll be like, I know that location, but it's from a totally different angle now, and also the characters are little chibi, like 2D sprites running around on this 3D background. It looks weird.
Yeah, I played it to a point and then was like, I can't. I'm home so little. At the time, I was like, I'm never home. I've got other stuff I need to be doing, and this is a good taste, and I will set this aside until I have more time on my hands.
Sure.
And it may, even though I've quit the job, it may not even be this week, because there is. I really think I want to try to finish after all my acting classes, like filmmaking stuff. I really do want to finish my feature. I really do want to finish writing that. So I'm going to try to prioritize that, or at least make it a treat where it's like, okay, I get to play trails if I do like 3 hours of work on the writing, that sort of thing. I know the last time I was on the show, or maybe one of the previous times, I talked about like how much time I would waste on power wash, like cleaning simulator games, but not use that. Like, it's time that I could have been actually cleaning my house, and instead I'm cleaning like the house of like virtual gangsters and stuff like that. Right. It's like, why am I not cleaning my own house? Like, why did I spend 6 hours doing that when I could have spent 3 just cleaning this room?
Right.
I'm going to have to set it aside until I'm like, okay, I'm going to treat it like a treat. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah. And then selfishly, like, I'm going to hopefully capitalize on this brief period where you might be, because you might end up finding like another part-time gig here relatively soon. So I'm hoping to book some of those interviews that we have for retailer therapy and kind of knock those out. Because if we can do that, then that also that's like months of the episode or the show running before we have to get together and actually record the final 2 episodes planned.
I got some paychecks coming. I've got like it's out there. There's an ad for Reliant Energy that I'm in that's out there right now. It's kind of funny because it's like it's about the World Cup. Justin, I don't know if you've seen it. I can't remember if I posted the Discord or not. I don't think I did. But there's this Reliant ad where it's like fathers and sons and daughters like celebrating and cheering, and you hear like Matthew McConaughey go like, "For those that are victorious," and then it cuts to me, and I'm like, it just cuts to my face, and it's like, "And for those who are cursed." And I was like, "Wait, why? I'm the cursed guy? Like that wasn't in the script. Like how did I end up becoming? How am I the physical representation of cursed?"
I'm sorry that happened.
I think we got the episode title.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that pay, and then the ad I'm doing this weekend, like I'll get paid from that. So there's some unpredictable incoming money, and then I've got a whole bunch of medical sims in the second week of July. So it'll be late July before I'm like, okay, August. Like July's good. August will get dicey, so it'll probably be like mid-July that I start putting feelers out. I've already had people reach out to me. Like today, somebody was like, "Hey, I work at Starbucks, and we need somebody right now, but that Starbucks is in Bee Cave," and I'm like, "I'm not driving from Pflugerville to Bee Cave to work at Starbucks."
Yeah,
that's like an hour plus away. It's
I mean, the mall was already dicey, but at least your medical sims are in the same neck of the woods, so there was like ways that you could double up on, or you could take care of both.
Yeah, times I went to one and then the other.
Yeah. I do remember before, because we do have a thing that we need to take care of, John, but before that, I remember the thing that I wanted to mention, which is, I've talked about Obsession and my thoughts on the movie, but I
know where this is going.
I keep seeing because Obsession is like a big deal right now. So I keep seeing like people, and I've been watching videos because like I had not realized, and I guess I should have known that there is like a unsurprisingly large contingent of the internet who just did not get the message of that movie. And it's one of those like media literacy things where it's like
I don't know why people liked it, because Bear is not a good person.
No, not that.
I've seen that one, and I'm like, duh. Like that's the
no. The people who were like, Bear really is like the hero of this movie, and he's like the sympathetic, like that type of thing.
I haven't seen that one either.
Like he shouldn't be blamed for having a situation out of his control. Blah blah blah. That take. I have yet to see that take. I've seen people think that the film is presenting him as a positive protagonist, and then coming away going, "Hey, I don't know if anybody realizes this, but what he did is not good."
And it's like,
There's also that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. Yeah.
That's the movie. Yes.
Yeah. But in watching all these things, I'm like, why does Bear look so fucking familiar to me? I don't think that I've seen this actor in anything, but why is his face like etched in my brain in a weird way? And then I was like, hold on a second, let me look up this dude's like filmography. And then sure enough, the reason that I knew his face so well is because I saw it up close and personal for like 4 hours straight when you and I were filming a small scene in the movie Slash a few years ago, John.
Yeah. I was floored. I didn't realize that at all. Didn't realize it at all. So they shot this movie Slash, which is about a kid coming to terms with his own sexuality and the labels that apply to that.
Okay.
And he's like into cosplay and fandom and stuff, which is why it's called Slash. I think he gets interested in like slash
fic.
Sure.
fic. And they were shooting a scene at Comic Palooza, and Julian and I were at Comic Palooza, and I knew the director. And so we're kind of like glorified extras, like almost like featured background in a scene in Slash. We were like sitting at a table. Were we eating like was the pizza? It's like a hot dog with a pizza folded around it. Is that what it was?
Yeah, we're Pizza Dog guy 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
And and he was at the table. And Hannah Marks, who has gone on to do some stuff as well, was the actress in it. She was around. So it was him and Hannah Marks there. You know, I remember making light small talk with him. I don't really remember making much small talk with Hannah Marks, but I remember him kind of like making some chit chat. But also, this was like, is this over 15 years ago? Like, it was so long ago. He was basically
not that long ago. It was like, it was like 2014, I think, 2014 or 20.
10 or 12, yeah.
Yeah, it was funny that you pointed that out. I would have gone my whole life without realizing that, and I was like, oh crap, yeah, we're in a movie with the guy from Obsession.
Yeah, it's wild how that works.
So you and I haven't talked about Obsession because I kind of wanted you to go in relatively spoiler free ish. So I'm going to talk about can I talk about my experience with Obsession, or we want to wait until the movie stuff?
Let's wait until the movie stuff.
Okay, I'll pause.
Yeah, because we actually do have a little bit of business to take care of, John. I'm sorry. I was able to book a couple interviews this episode. Justin, don't worry.
Okay.
I'm going to be there with you for these interviews. So,
fair.
Like,
yeah.
I know that you didn't really have a great experience with interviewing AI Phil Spencer, but I'm here to back you up this time.
Sure. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, this guy's been kind of knocking on the door for a while, and we were finally able to slot him in. So we just need to step backstage for this interview real quick, John. So if you just want to like kind of hang out for a bit, and we're going to go ahead and do this.
I'll be here.
Cool. All right. So we are very pleased and excited to be talking to Sammy Kesselrun, who is the creative director at Spoonshank Games. Sammy, I understand that you are working on a new game. Do you want to go ahead? Like, I don't want to steal your thunder. You want to let the people know what you're working on and tell us a little bit about your project?
Well, I'm so glad that you guys invited me onto the show today. It's just really exciting. This is the exclusive, so all your listeners are getting the scoop here first from Spoonshank Games. All right, Justin, I could tell from you, all right, that you are excited.
You know me. I'm excited all the time.
I know you well. So Spoonshank Games is proud to announce our first AAA bowling title, Brunswick Pro Bowler 4K27. That's Brunswick Pro Bowler 4K27 coming to consoles in 2026. Legally, I do have to say that the Brunswick and Brunswick Pro Bowler is not Brunswick that's affiliated with the bowling brand. I have to get that out of the way up front. It's Brunswick, Georgia, where the game takes place. Yes,
that's fair.
It's a beautiful coastal city off of the coast of Georgia, and players of Brunswick Pro Bowler 4K27 are going to experience Brunswick, Georgia in first-person open world bowling play. This is, as far as we know, the first open world bowling game.
Okay. All right.
Interesting. I guess my first question is why make a bowling game in 2026? It doesn't really feel like the sport is at the height of its popularity right now.
The sport is always at the height of its popularity. It plateaued in the Dark Ages and has continued to be popular. It's never waned. It's never had a dip in popularity. It has always maintained the exact same level of popularity ever since Martin Luther, that's right, the Martin Luther, the person who invented Lutheranism, he created 9-pin bowling, it has remained the same level of popular throughout the years across the world. So really, there's no time like the present, because the present popularity is exactly the same as like 20 years ago, and it's going to be the same 20 years from now. And that's the great thing about bowling, is its consistent level of medium popularity across time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean,
now you might be wondering why it's called 4K27 and not 2K27.
That was actually going to be my next question.
I will tell you right now, the reason it's called 4K27 is because this open world bowling game that you'll get to experience in Brunswick Pro Bowler 4K27 is in 4K.
Good.
Oh, okay. So not a future setting for Brunswick, Georgia. It's not set in the year 4000.
Oh shit, that's a really good idea.
Yeah. You should maybe you should think about that, you know.
Yeah, because I just spitballing here, but like I get what you're saying about the popularity of bowling kind of remaining consistent, but I feel like in this day and age, you kind of need a hook, right? Like, if it was like cyberpunk bowling.
Oh, you want hooks? Was visiting Brunswick, Georgia not hook enough?
I mean, it was, but I would like more.
They have you heard of Brunswick stew? It's a regional meal.
Wow. I have not.
So Brunswick stew. Now you guys will have to indulge me for a second, because while your character can go get bowls of Brunswick stew in the game, it doesn't have any effect on your stats. It's just something delicious, and it helps immerse yourself in the world of Brunswick, Georgia.
Yeah.
But it's a delicious sweet stew made of roasted meat and corn and peas. If you like the sweet, tangy flavor of ketchup, but you've always wanted it to be hot and have vegetables you don't like in the mix, this is the stew for you. Brunswick stew, it's so good. Perfect. Sorry, I digress. Yes, what do we have that's cutting edge? Where do you want me to start? Okay, I've already said open world, right? Let me tell you about this open world. I don't know if you've ever been to Brunswick. It's a beautiful place. It's right off the highway. Brunswick has 2 bowling alleys you can visit. That's right. They have the strike zone, which has 3.5 stars on Yelp, and the Pinball Palace, which has 5 stars on Yelp. And you will be able to take your character to those 2 locations within this gigantic open world. And not only that, we have partnered with Yelp. You will be able to rate those bowling alleys within Yelp, within the game itself. It doesn't affect the actual Yelp ratings, but in the game, other people will come up to you in the streets and they will say, hey, where's the best place to bowl? And you can show them your Yelp review, and then that will have them go there. So then later on in the game, like, you might forget you ran into that person on the street, then you walk to the bowling alley, right? And you go inside, that person might be there bowling like 4 lanes down from you. I will say we wanted to include vehicles in this game. We did not have time, so you will just be walking from place to place in Brunswick, Georgia.
Yeah.
And as of this time, I know people have asked us a lot, are there different businesses and places you can enter, that sort of thing? Like, why necessarily do open world? And what we found from focus groups and the like was that people just really enjoy an open world game. For this one, man, we really wanted to work in some other locations. We were talking to Stuckies. We were talking to Shoney's. We were talking about all the places that are out there on the Georgia coast. And what we kind of settled into, just due to licensing agreements, the Shoney's people just couldn't make it work this time. So it's just those 2 bowling alleys, unfortunately. And your home. You do have a home.
Okay.
Yeah, you do have a home that you can return to every day. And then in your home, you can spend some time there thinking about maybe like when the next time you want to go bowling is.
Right.
So like you can just walk around, like explore the different rooms in your home. And while you're in there, just consider like, oh, maybe I think I want to go bowling now. And then once you decide, you can walk 1.5 miles, 2 miles maybe from where your house is to where the bowling alley is in real time.
In real
Okay.
time. Okay. I
In
was going to
real
ask
time.
how.
Now, it's not, well, go ahead.
Oh, how big is Brunswick, Georgia?
How big is Brunswick, Georgia? Let me do a little Google foo for you. Let me do a little Google foo for you.
I would like to know how, the real time walk from my home to the bowling alley is, that.
Yeah, I'm looking that up right now. So it is, Brunswick is 32 square miles across.
Okay.
And we have all 32 miles of Brunswick represented within the game
Fantastic.
itself. Now, the bowling alleys aren't 32 miles across from each other, but we
Okay.
give you the whole city. So, like, there may be places you want to explore, like various, like, elementary schools
Right.
or churches or,
But
Banks.
okay,
well,
That's where I want to
but
go.
it is. But
Yeah.
it's a bowling game.
Yeah, it's a bowling game.
You're bowling.
yes. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and it still has all the bowling people have come to expect. We have a great list of bowlers. I'm gonna say some names to you, okay? I'm gonna say
Yeah.
some names to you, and I just want to get your reaction, okay? All right. Billy Hardwick.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that a person?
Yeah. Is it a person? Yeah, it's a person.
Yeah.
He won the 1977 Bowling Hall of Fame for superior performance.
Oh, well.
You'll be able
fuck
to
me, I
play
guess, yeah.
as Billy Hardwick. Not right now. Not right now, Justin.
Fair enough. Yeah.
How about this? How about this for you? Mike Durbin. Huh?
Sounds like a
Mike
person with a
Durbin.
face.
That
Yeah.
sounds like
Yeah.
somebody who likes bowling, I'll tell you that much. Yeah.
He-
It does.
So Mike Durbin, everybody knows Mike Durbin won the 1984 Bowling Hall of Fame for superior performance.
Right.
That's just, I mean, how can you not hear names like John Archibald, Andy Marzick, Don McClure, and not think bowling when you hear those names? I tell you this, we were gonna try to play this close to the vest, but I've decided, like, I'm gonna go ahead and share this right now. So we have a secret character in the game. You'll never
Okay.
guess who he is. Martin Luther.
Wow.
Well,
Now we're
man.
talking.
Martin Luther. Yeah.
Yeah.
So not only Martin Luther, I'm about to drop a bomb on you guys. Are you ready? Are you sitting down?
I've been sitting. Yeah.
Are you,
Yeah.
are you still sitting?
Yeah.
Are you still sitting
Yeah,
down,
actually,
Julian? Okay.
yeah.
We have Martin Luther and we have Martin Luther King. Now,
Wow.
I know you're
Hmm.
thinking, why do we put Martin Luther King in this game? Because we're thinking about the user. We don't want to create consumer confusion.
Right.
What we don't want is to have on the front of the cover, let's say we have like some key art, or you look at the back of the box and there's like a picture of Martin Luther, or we say includes Martin Luther, the father of modern bowling. And somebody's like, wow, I didn't know that. He was a great man. He had a dream. They take it home. They pop it in. There's like, wait a minute. I thought this had Martin Luther King. Not realizing that there was a Lutheran Martin Luther, right?
Yeah.
So we've
You don't want that.
included Martin Luther King to mitigate any consumer disappointment over the fact that they don't realize that those are two completely different people.
Right.
I have to applaud the consumer first nature of that.
Well, let me tell you more about this consumer first nature, okay? We
Okay.
have completely customizable bowlers that you can create from the ground up to
Perfect.
represent yourself. So when you're walking around this first person world, you'll be walking around in the shoes of someone that you've created. We have
All right.
a full suite. You'll be able to change the facial features, the hairstyle, the body type, and Brunswick Pro Bowler 4K27 is the first bowling game in history with a genital slider.
Oh, wow. That's something. That's something.
Okay, but you said it's first person, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you're not really seeing yourself.
Are there mirrors in the game?
We couldn't get the reflections to work.
Oh.
I mean, reflections are hard.
By
Yeah, it is
delivery
hard.
date. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
yeah. None of us know how to do ray tracing.
I mean,
Fair.
ray tracing also.
Yeah, that's
If
hard.
you know a guy, do you know a guy?
Oh,
Justin, Jacob Washington, is he putting ray tracing in 22 rifle? Do you know?
you'd have to ask him on that. Something tells me probably not.
The mirrors in the game just have like kind of a, what I've seen in games is they have like a really low res, like blurry kind of like
Sure, yeah.
silvery image.
Yeah,
And
sure.
we're doing that. It's a little old school. But you know, we had to cut corners where we could for
Sure,
38
yeah.
square miles of Brunswick,
Absolutely.
Georgia.
Right. Okay. Are you having like sex in the game? I mean, it's a bowling game. But
No. How dare you?
Sorry.
Possibly a bridge too far, Julian. I mean, it's.
Well, I
it's a
just kind
bowling
of don't
game.
understand why you need genitals in a first-person bowling
Because you
game.
want, you want to be immersed. Really, I mean,
Yeah.
you want to. Yeah,
It's about
I guess,
immersion.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not
Yeah.
grasping that.
It's about
Okay.
immersion. Oh, you gonna walk around to the bowling alley without some meat swinging between your legs?
right.
Like, is that
Yeah,
that's not what we do in real? I mean, I don't want to be exclusionary. I realize that there are people probably in this world that have no genitalia at all.
Right.
They're few, and we don't want them to miss out on this game. Maybe we can add like a toggle and just have it the ability to like say, nope, neither for me. Thank you, no, thank you. I don't want either one.
right.
Yeah, go for the full Ken.
In that
Right.
case, the user can look down and just see like a smooth mound of nothing. And
Perfect.
hopefully that'll satisfy them. But for the other people, yes, it's for immersion. It's
Yeah,
for immersion
yeah.
because we want people to be able to live their bowling fantasies no matter if they are vaginamized or penisized.
Right. Fair enough.
Now, some people are just uncomfortable with the word penis. It's fine. It's fine. I get it. I understand. It took me a really, really long time to get over my fear.
It takes a lot of us a long time.
I said
sometimes.
tallywhacker for the longest time, and
Fair enough.
that was from the VHS of Safe Kids, Smart Kids. That's
Oh,
where I learned
yeah.
that term, and I used it all the way up until my second wife, who was like, "Why do you call it a tallywhacker?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
Right.
so yeah." So
Yeah.
I've learned to adopt the medical names because she told me that was more appropriate.
Right. Now,
Okay, but again, it is a bowling game. Is
Yeah,
your
it
character
is.
taking their clothes off where you would
No,
see?
no.
No, you
They
have
can
your
wear
clothes
like
on,
standard
Julian. You
bowling
just-
clothes. Yeah, you got to have
you just want to know. It's
Yeah.
about
Okay.
knowing.
You gotta. So the thing with bowling is, and one of the things we want to get right in this game is, you are a professional. Like you're going to wear bowling shoes. You're going to have bowling glove. You're going to have the appropriate like league
Right.
gear. You're not going to be.
Right.
This isn't. Yeah, we're not. This is. We're not making a Witcher game here. There's no. You're not going to see any
Right.
tatas hanging out unless your character returns to their home and looks down.
Right. Fair enough.
Okay.
I have some questions about the bowling itself, if I may ask, because
Oh yeah, of course.
yeah. How are the pin physics?
How are the
those?
pin physics?
Yeah.
So we have in this game 3 different styles of international pins. We
All
have
right.
those weird small skinny ones.
Yeah.
We have those curvaceous like pear shaped, ones that look like a sexy lady with a big ass. Those ones. We got those ones.
Sure.
Those are like the standard American ones, right? Because that's what we like in America. We like a bowling pin with a little bit of a
I never really
little bit
thought
of a
about it
dump
like
truck
that.
to it.
but-
That's what we like. That's what I like, at least. Yeah,
Fair.
and we've got we've got the different types of international pin sets. It
Okay.
is 10 pin bowling, even though there have been in history like different types of bowling. This will only include
Sure,
10 pin bowling. The physics are as good as. I mean, I really feel like they nailed bowling physics as far back as the Atari 2600 with the first bowling game.
Yeah.
And the physics are as good, if not better, than those original bowling games. Why
Right, yeah.
fix it if it ain't broke? You
Right.
know?
Fair enough.
Justin, I don't want to step on your toes real quick, but I do have a follow-up to piggyback off of that question.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So is this traditional 10-pin bowling with the actual automated system that resets them, or is this the really lame string bowling that's taking off across the country now where they don't actually knock down anymore?
Oh no, these fall down.
Okay.
Thank God. Yeah.
Unfortunately, you did mention the reset. I will say that there is no at this time. There is no reset animation. They fall down, and then when it's your time to bowl again, they just sort of like reappear where they were because that was easier.
Well, yeah.
And those little cost-cutting things are going to be what passes along the savings to you,
right?
Because we are launching digital only, and a special collector's edition that includes an art book and a soundtrack.
Oh wow!
For $124.99.
Wow,
reasonable.
That's a deal. That's a deal right there. How many different color balls are there? A lot of different colors of balls.
Sir, excuse you.
Excuse me.
you, sir. Yeah. So we have a color slider, and it's as much as the rainbow will allow.
Oh, nice. All right.
As much as the visual eye can see. Every shade on the spectrum.
Right. Did you get any official brands of balls, or
Do we have any official brands?
Yeah.
Yes, we do. We have the Lutheran Council ball.
Oh.
We have the official Spoonshank Games ball.
That is official.
We have the Brunswick, Georgia Chamber of Commerce ball.
Wow.
Just to name a few.
That's pretty all right.
By a few, is that all of them?
I don't have a calculator.
Yeah,
I think. Why there may. Yeah, that's all. That's all off the top of my head.
Well,
what am I, a bowling game expert? I am. I was just kidding. I am.
That was a good joke.
Thank you.
Yeah. I have one final question.
Yes.
I would love to ask.
And I would love to answer it, Justin.
How does this game compare to the recently released PBA game, the Pro Bowling game that came out, I believe, last year, 2025? Yeah.
Our market research showed that there were no other games in this genre on the market at this time.
Yeah, PBA Tour Pro Bowling 2026. It's right here.
What does PBA stand for?
The Pro Bowling Association, where you can play as all your favorite pro bowling legends and license PBA pros, deep career progression, and multiple competitive game modes.
This is on consoles?
Yes, actually.
We are so fucked. I'm going to end the call. I got some people at the company I need to speak to.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, Jesus Christ, we're so fucked. Oh,
I'm
God.
sorry.
Well, best of luck, Sammy. Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I'm not going to let this get me down. It's still coming to stores. Nothing we can do about that bullshit right there. It's still arriving to stores at $124.99.
Yeah.
Okay, well, nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you too.
Yeah, thanks, Sammy.
It was a pleasure.
Bye. Yeah, so that was Sammy Kesselrun, creative director at Spoonshank Games.
Real nice guy.
I liked it.
Really like talking to them. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go walk around that town and go to my house. That sounds fun.
I mean, yeah, I guess, hopefully we can get him back for another interview to see like what the progress is on the game, because I still have some questions, but
fair enough. Who doesn't?
Yeah. John, thanks for waiting. Realize that that's a little awkward.
You got business to do.
Yeah,
it's not my show.
Right. Appreciate it. Let's see. I think I'll put a pin in that. You know what? Okay. I can run through this stuff real quick.
Go ahead.
Steam Next Fest happened, over the last week and change or whatever.
Sure.
And I did check out some demos that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to put together some terrible jingle about demos because I know Phoebe at Nerds of Broadcast loves jingles about demos, but I just didn't have the bandwidth to do that. So
jingles about demos.
If you listen to Nerds of Broadcast, that
okay.
plays.
All right.
But first one I checked out, this is actually I played this demo on PlayStation 5 actually, but it's everywhere. Duskfade, which is, hey, do you miss Kingdom Hearts and are tired of waiting for Kingdom Hearts 4 but would like a game what looks and plays like a Kingdom Hearts? Well, you're in luck, because we have Duskfade that sure do look and play like a Kingdom Hearts without the Disney characters. It's a nice looking game. It plays nice, like it controls well.
Sure.
I was kind of digging kind of the cut of its jib, even though I'm not like the biggest Kingdom Hearts fan or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's a game that it is not being subtle about its inspiration in any way, shape, or form. Like right down to like the stained glass windows depicting the characters and stuff like that.
Oh boy. Yeah. Okay.
And I was enjoying the demo, and then I got to a part where it was like introducing like some platforming sections, and there was this really awkward thing where it said, in order to jump longer distances, roll, you do your combat roll and then jump at the end of the roll animation to get like a longer distance on your jump. And I did that okay, even though that was a very awkward thing to do. And then after that was another jump where you had to do the roll into jump, but then also followed up with your double jump and then your glide. And I proceeded to miss that jump like 4 times, and I was like, I think I'm good, Duskfade. I think that's fine.
Are you sure you don't want to just keep trying?
No, I'm fine.
You sure?
I think it'll definitely hit with the audience that it's going for.
Yeah,
which wasn't
probably.
me to begin with. Let's be honest. But
yeah.
It was an interesting enough looking game that I wanted to check it out. And when the demo hit, I was glad to check it out. But I could already tell that for me personally, I was going to get like very annoyed with that, because that was just the tutorial jumping, and I was like,
oh, fun.
Why is this so weird?
Do people play Kingdom Hearts for the gameplay? I feel like maybe because I've only played the first one, it was sort of like weak Zelda, but the appeal was like uncovering the visitation of like all these Disney worlds.
Yeah,
it is, but I know that your particular Kingdom Hearts sickos really do love like the feel of that gameplay and kind of like that airiness to the combos where like you're doing like these air combos where you're staying like elevated for like 10 seconds straight before you hit the ground again. Like they do get into that stuff, but you're not wrong. The Disney stuff is now like kind of the big draw.
And also how nuts Nomura can make
and also
everything.
the Nomura-ishness of it.
Yeah.
This next one was a Steam demo, which is ReStory Chill Electronics Repairs, which I had been eyeing this for a while, and they had a demo come out, and I was glad to check it out. And instantly, guys, I was like, oh, this is going to be a motherfucking problem for me.
Okay.
Because it is highly addictive.
Oh, good.
So it takes place in Japan. You set up this little bitty like repair shop. Like it's really one of those like really tiny stall type things where you basically just have a desk in front of you, and then like a shutter opens up when you open for business. People bring electronics to you. I think this is set during like the early aughts. Like I want to say it's like 2004 or 5.
Yeah.
And so they're bringing like era, like stuff that makes sense to there. It has a full Atari branding deal with it, so you are repairing actual Atari stuff when they bring that stuff in. So
like right on the front page is just like the opening gambit is just like, here's a PMP. Which
so then it has like off-brand stuff, but you can definitely tell what it's supposed to be.
Right, exactly.
Very reminiscent of if you ever played like Game Dev Story. I know John did. Like we were both like big Game Dev Story people, where you could absolutely one-to-one map out what the consoles and handhelds were supposed to represent, but obviously they were like off-brand versions and stuff. And so they're doing that here. Like this is a game that I really wouldn't want to play with a controller, I don't think, because it feels very tactile to use the mouse to like, okay, I'm going to move this like Atari 2600 joystick. I'm going to turn it upside down, unscrew the screws on the bottom, and then like take it apart. And I'm going to
you're in luck, Julian, because the Nintendo Switch 2 has mouse controls.
Fuck off. I'm not playing this on the Switch 2. I mean, no, never mind. No, because I'm not taking the Joy-Cons off of my Switch too. Fuck that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Just wanted to put it up there.
But
Sure.
now I want a game. Now I want a game called Mouse Control that's just control with like a mice mod where it's like cartoon mice.
All
That
right.
probably exists on Steam somewhere. So basically, people come up and they get, they're like, hey, like I need this thing cleaned, right? So you'll just like take it apart and you clean it, kind of power wash simulator style, where you just like kind of. I do wish that was a little bit deeper. I wish that you had like different cleaning elements to do stuff, but it's really just like you mouse over the thing until it's clean, and then you're good.
Uh-huh.
But then. Like a part that was really fun was you can go online to like their version of eBay or whatever, and like you can buy like broken consoles and stuff like that to cannibalize for parts. And so there was like a part where someone brought in they had two 2600 joysticks. One was broken, one was not. That wasn't what it was. It was a phone. Someone brought in a flip phone, and basically like after you took it apart, it was like, oh, these 3 pieces are broken. And I already had like another spare phone on me, but when I pulled that apart, I was still missing 1 piece, and I was like, well, fuck. And then I went online and I found the spot where I just ordered that actual component. So then I did that, put it back together, sold it. It's real fun.
That sounds pretty cool. It looks pretty neat. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a little concerned about, because there's no disclosure on Steam at this point, but the actual character portrait art to me smacks a little bit of AI. To me,
It looks AI. Yeah, I
okay. It's not just me.
No,
okay.
I saw this game come up in like a recommended upcoming game for me, and I've seen it come up multiple times, and I've been like, "This sounds really cool," but it has all of this key art hints at AI slop, and so I've been a little.
Yeah, it does kind of look that way now that I'm looking at it.
I've been a little reluctant.
Okay, and that's what it looked like to me. But when I mentioned that in the Discord, everybody was like, "Oh, I don't see it." I was like, "Oh, okay, maybe it's just
There's
me." Then.
Something about, I don't know what it is, but just the style of it, like it just look. But I mean, there's nothing glaring, right? They probably did their work to make it not look like here's an obvious problem with the hand or whatever the fuck,
right?
But there's still something
smacks of it
off
to me,
about
though.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, no disclosure on Steam, and they are supposed to put that. And it's a high enough profile game that I feel that they're playing with fire if they did use AI and they're not disclosing it. Right. But it might also be one of those sad situations where it's just like, oh no, the artist's style just happens to look like what AI is generating.
Could be too. Yeah.
Yeah. Feel bad for like Art Germ.
Right.
Because like,
oh god, yeah.
So much stuff like has ripped off them, and now like their actual legit art is getting tagged as like AI, and it's like, no, I've been painting this way for my entire career.
They got into NFTs pretty hard when that hit, so maybe that's a little come up and
oh, did they really?
Yeah, I think they did.
Oh, okay.
If I remember correctly, they got real into that for a while.
I've done a comic panel with Art Germ. It's interesting. They're like, and you guys probably already know this, but it's like a collective of people. There's like one guy who kind of teaches everybody to draw like him.
Interesting.
It's very
strange. I thought that was his moniker.
No,
it was like Stanley Lau or Stephen Lau.
Yeah, it is, and it's not. So
interesting. That I did not know.
Like an Art Germ art book is going to have like stuff from the sort of collective.
Okay.
Oh, so it's like an udon thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I think that's such a weird way of working. There's also like, they used to say that's how, I don't know if you remember Julian, the artist Mike Deodato Jr., like the comic artist. So there was a time where he was doing like 3 Marvel books a month and stuff like that. And it's because like Mike Deodato Jr. was not actually doing any of the artwork. He was like doing layouts for certain books, and then had a bunch of like, I think he's from Brazil. He had basically a bunch of like South American artists he was teaching to draw exactly like him, and then having them work in his studio, and he would pay them, and they would all be Mike Deodato books, but they were like not drawn by him.
So he clued into the manga style way before we knew what that was. Because that's apparently how a lot of manga is made is that it's not just the person that is the mangaka, but they're kind of almost directing the art design of the book, and then they have like 4 or 5 other people actually assembling the art in the book together.
Yeah, there's also an assembly line thing to manga that used to exist. I don't know if it still does, where people only draw to their specialties and they pass the book around, and then it'll have one person's name on it, but it's like the background guy won't be the fight scene guy, and the fight scene guy won't be the dramatic scene guy. And it's like, they literally will like, okay, you're just doing this part of this page, and you're just doing this part of this page. You know, the real American innovator of the manga style is Jim Davis, whose name is like on every drawing of Garfield, but hasn't drawn Garfield since like 1984 or something like that. Like, like he has a whole studio of people who just draw Garfield all day and slap his name on it.
Yeah.
That's the dream right there.
So I played, a good hour and a half of ReStory and stopped because I was like, I'm pretty much sold. I think what's going to end up happening is I'm going to buy this game and I'm going to put like 10 hours into it. Then it's going to be like, they used AI, and it's like, well, fuck. I'm already like,
you're already
in. I can't refund it. But like, it's so fucking fun.
Yeah.
There's a time where I wanted to get into actually like tinkering with consoles and like repairing consoles and controllers. I just don't have the space or the money, and then also, I mean, I don't know what I'm doing, right? So like, I would have to learn that completely.
The technical know-how,
right. But it's something that I love to watch like repair videos on YouTube and stuff like that. So that gives me like that kind of feeling. Next up, I played Silver Pines, which, Justin, I don't think this is a game for you whatsoever, but please look at this game because the style is so fucking rad. Yeah. It is a 2D survival horror style game that it's like it has a look of like a point and click adventure game, but like more rotoscoped animation style. The map is more like a search action style map where you're actually like, you'll have like dead ends and stuff like that until you get like the right tool or item that allows you to open those areas. And then it's got like there's enemies, right? So in the demo that I didn't play the whole thing, but like I initially got like a box cutter that I could use as a melee weapon, and it has damage degradation like Silent Hill F does, but also like Silent Hill F, you have items that you can use to repair it. So that's kind of ultimately, because normally I don't like weapons breaking in games. Yeah. But I liked the way that Silent Hill F did it, because since that game didn't have bullets, I was like, oh, the repair kits are basically like your ammunition. And as you're starting to run low on durability, aka bullets, you reload with the repair kit and you're good to go. And they doled them out in just the right cadence in Silent Hill F, where it was like you would constantly feel like you were about to be fucked, and then it's like, oh, thank goodness, like I got you. You would either find a brand new weapon, or you would find a repair kit, and you were kind of like, it was that really good sweet spot of you're just barely getting to the next new thing or the next repair kit, but you always have something on hand to deal with shit. It's got a really cool, moody atmosphere. It's got an incredible look to it. Like, the animation is amazing. It's fun. It's interesting coming off of Resident Evil Requiem, where I did play it on the classic mode where you had to use ink ribbons to save, because this also has a built, like, it is by default, you need to use money in order to save the game at payphones.
Okay. Yeah.
But even in the little bit of time that I played the demo, you get plenty of money, and it's only like $1 to save, but there's also a total in-game economy where you go to like vending machines that have like items for you.
Sure.
So it's that cool like push and pull of like,
that's kind of neat. Yeah.
Do I want this healing item, or do I want to be able to save my game next time that I get to a payphone type of thing?
Every screenshot of this is a cool idea. Even the trailer that I watched of it was very Silent Hill coded, like very, very Silent Hill coded. Like, there's like, they did the TVs and all that shit.
Oh, and also the voice acting is very Silent Hill coded, where the main character has this very like disaffected voice where he feels like he should be, like, you're like, you should be more freaked out by this, but he kind of like has this weird like detached nature to it that makes everything even more unnerving.
Right.
I'm really into this. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if it's coming to anything besides Steam, because I would like to play it on my TV, but I'm totally fine. It played totally fine on a Steam Deck, so highly recommend checking out Silver Pines to anybody.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah. Next up, I played very briefly the demo for Lady Death, Demonicron, which is a beat 'em up starring Lady Death from, the comic series. I tried it because it had a really awesome art style. It's really pretty to look at. It does not play well.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, it's very stiff.
It kind of looks like it. Yeah.
It doesn't feel like you have much flow between your attacks and stuff like that. And it was one of those things where it was like an instant like, oh, I don't like the way this game feels. Because I probably played it for about 5 minutes. I'm not going to lie. Like, it was just like an instant like, man, I love this style. And it's also classic Lady Death with just the booba like on display. I know that she got redesigned like a few years ago where she was covered up more, but this is like classic Lady Death, and I'm all about that.
Sure.
But it's a no for me.
Gotcha.
Similarly, I checked out Desktop Explorer, which was really the reason I tried this demo is because it gave me a lot of the vibes that I got from Forbidden Solitaire.
Sure.
This is a game where your uncle recently passed away of dementia. This takes place around 2012, and you have inherited his computer, which was purchased in 1995, and he's been using it all that time.
Perfect.
So it's an old, Windows 95 style setup.
Mm-hmm.
And you're kind of doing this like digital spelunking of his computer, trying to find, there's secrets about him that you want to learn, and you're trying to find it. And they're literally set up like puzzles. Like it says like, here's puzzle 1, right? And you have to like solve it. And you do it by finding like, okay, I need to find this keyword or whatever. I need to find this password by digging around in these different places on his computer and whatnot. I made it to the 3rd puzzle and was too dumb to figure out what the solution was. And I was like, okay.
It looks hard. I'm looking at it.
I was like, I really love everything this game is doing. I can already tell that I don't have the brain for it. And that's annoying. But at least I understand that it's not that I'm not going to make it through this game. I don't have the brain for it.
Sure.
But if you do have the brain for it, by all means, check it out. It's very cool.
Looks pretty neat.
Yeah, like I think if you liked Hypnospace Outlaw,
I did,
but you also have a bigger brain than I do, you'll really dig Desktop Explorer.
Did you play Buddy Simulator 1984?
I don't know. I don't know what that is. I
never played it. I watched somebody play that one at some point.
It is super interesting, and it sounds like, based on this game you're talking about, sounds like something you might like. Yeah. Very, very strange kind of idea-driven game where...
Yeah.
Wait, you might have told me about this one before.
Yeah, where you start like MS-DOS, and you're just having like basic DOS conversations. Like it's all monochrome.
Right, you did show this to me at your house. Yeah, this did look interesting.
And then as you progress, the DOS gets smarter, and it's like, let's play games. And you play Hangman with it, and then it's like up to a point, and then it's sort of like, yeah, this is kind of boring. Like, I'm not smart enough to make more games, like more complicated games. Give me a second, and I'll try to make a more complicated game. And it's like, you just check in with this like virtual buddy, and the virtual buddy gets smarter and more complex and more complicated. It ends up leading to like an RPG that's sort of like still very meta within the world of it's this MS-DOS that's trying to create a story for you using what it knows. It's weird. I've never played anything like Buddy Simulator 1984. It's been a hard game to recommend to other people.
Yeah.
But if bring up Desktop Explorer and looking at it, I'm like, you might like Buddy Simulator 1984.
Yeah, I might take a look at that. Let's see. And then the last demo, and I almost was going to skip this or save it until next week, but then when I learned that John was going to be on tonight, I had to try it, which is Hard Edge Warzone. And the reason why this stuck out to me when I saw it on Steam is because I recognized the characters and I was like, are those the characters from Trag on PS1? And yes, because Hard Edge was the name of that game in other regions. It was called Trag here. I think it's like Tactical Rescue and something, but we all just referred to it as the really average game because that's really what it was. And I think it's wild that almost 30 years later, they're like, hey, let's bring back Hard Edge. Let's bring back these characters that people have no desire to revisit.
That is fascinating.
Let's put them into a tactical card-based strategy game. And the demo has no preamble. There's no story setup.
Perfect.
It is just start a mission and it just drops you in and it's like you have to kill, eliminate the enemies. It's one enemy. It's a robot. And I don't know how they were able to mess up the controls on a turn, like a strategy RPG, but they did.
Perfect.
First of all, you can't move and also do an action in the same turn.
Good. That's what you want.
I moved into range and then I couldn't do anything. So like, okay, next turn. And then I was still not in range. So I had to move again for this melee weapon. But the gun that this one character has, a gun card, it was like you move 6 spaces and then attack. And I couldn't just click on the actual enemy to just use the card to attack. He moved 6 spaces and then did nothing.
Perfect.
And I was like, all right, I think we're done here. But just the novelty of you really brought back the really average game characters in a completely different genre for a game that nobody has any fondness of from 30 years ago. I don't know what the play is here, but kudos to you for attempting this. I don't know.
Sunsoft.
Yeah, well, and I guess that's the thing is that Sunsoft recently was resurrected, so that's probably they're just trying to figure out.
It's like we had this,
right? Yeah,
fuck it, let's do something with it. I don't know.
So those are all my demos, and then the only other thing that I did in the last week is I continue to play Hades on Tuesday. No, Wednesday.
Yeah,
Wednesday. I finally beat Hades for the first time. Like, cool. I defeated Hades. I finished my first run.
Nice.
And I felt nothing.
Fair enough.
The actual victory felt so hollow because I did not... I have never... Like, I am now like 40-something runs into this game.
Mm.
I have yet to feel like I cracked it. I have yet to feel powerful in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always barely beat him. Like I at this point I have 4 lives if I use the tooth that gives you an extra life.
Sure. I
always end up on the last life about to die before I actually beat him.
Mm.
Even though I feel that I have learned his patterns at this point.
Right.
But it's a combination of I react slowly to his moves. And he's also one of my least favorite boss designs, which is I'm just going to throw so many ads at you that you spend more time fighting the ads than you do me. Meanwhile, I am slowly chipping away at your life while you're distracted by these ads.
Sure.
I hate to keep comparing Absalom to it, but I guess it's because that's the only other one of these like run-based games that I've really like conquered, right?
Yeah, it just might not be your genre for the most part. You might have a couple that you like, but yeah.
Well, but I feel that like the idea of these games is that at a certain point you crack them, right? And you get like super over.
When it comes to Hades, I always feel that way at a certain point.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is. Like not so the only like there's been like there was like one build where I was like, oh, this is the shit. Where it was basically like it was the first time that Hades felt within striking distance. I didn't win, but I had built up an Ares Blade Rift build.
Oh, yeah.
Where all I had was like, not all I had, but I had a bunch of ways to put Blade Rifts on the screen.
Right.
And so basically I was just constantly doing damage over time in an area around Hades constantly.
Yeah.
but it didn't get the job done. Your bowling ball technique, that has become like my go-to.
It's pretty fun.
Especially in the area right before Hades.
Oh, you just annihilate everything instantly.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah. But then when you get to Hades, that doesn't work anymore because there's not any barriers to really
you gotta kind of take a little bit of different approach for that.
Right.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I will say is that there's 6 weapons in Hades. 3 of them, I think, personally, just suck.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that the bow, the fists, and the gun are all various levels of suck.
Really?
Yeah. I think the sword is... So the gun is good once you get like a couple of the hammer upgrades for it.
Sure.
I've had some really good runs with it where I have like the rocket launcher fires, like you can do 3 at a time. And that works really well for me, especially on like Theseus and the Minotaur.
Yeah.
Like that works really well. I think the sword is mid, and then the shield and the spear are like OP. But what that's ended up being is that
it's funny because the three that you mentioned, I'm like, oh, those are like my favorites actually. Those I think are very fun to use and are actually really great. You just gotta get good, so man.
Slow. Like the gloves, you have to be like too close, and then the gun is like the range isn't good enough, and it's also like the reload is so slow.
I don't know how to explain it because it's been a while since I've messed with it, but I always appreciated how different how it changed how I played.
You do have to play very differently with all the weapons.
Yeah, and the bow was specifically like one where like, yeah, you are aiming for like certain of those like hammer upgrades sometimes to get certain things, but like there's also, I don't know, different things you can do around it with like the boons and stuff like that. So like when I go into runs, Julian, what is the first artifact you use for a run? Like the one you go in with.
Lately, I've been trying to finish getting the fucking prophecies for the different gods, and it's like the game is fucking with me because it's just not giving me the ones that I need. Like I think so lately I've been like, okay, I need Dionysus right now.
Sure.
So I grab his for the first the first thing. That's what I've been doing lately. Normally, I would start with like the Chthonic purse to have the extra money.
Okay.
Or like basically my go-tos are the purse, which I use for like the opener because you only need it one time.
Yeah.
Then I switch to the extra health.
Sure.
Because that's like an extra 50 hit points. And I use that until I beat Elysium, and then I put on the tooth for the extra life because I need all 4 lives.
Sure.
To like basically if I die before I get to Hades at this point, I'm like, okay, run over. I'm not gonna beat Hades.
Interesting. So what I do is I'll take one of the artifacts that you can get from gifting the gods that will make their stuff pop up more.
Right. And that's what I've been doing lately.
And then I will switch to it in the middle of the run and get a different one and try to pair them up like with certain things, and then I'll switch usually or however I want to do it. It's basically like, okay, I have enough of what I want here, and now I will switch and do the rest of it like this. And then when I get to the end, I'm like, okay, what do I need now? That's usually how I do it.
Right.
And then throughout, I usually use one of the things that switches like the stuff on the doors, to basically seed the run however I want it. And that's how I always felt like I will get the run I want. Yeah.
So the Poseidon and Zeus thing has been like really good for me, right? Also if I can do like Athena's deflect dash, that's a really good one for me, and I can pair that with like some other stuff.
Sure.
I really like the cold beam from Demeter
for if you can get the beam, it's actually quite good. Yeah,
especially if you can get the upgrade where it tracks better.
Yeah.
But again, I just have never felt like nothing can touch me, or because like Absalom again, I forgot to finish my thought there. At a certain point there, I was like, I have fully understood this game where any build that I can put together, like basically anything that I'm given in Absalom, I can crack it, and like I'm just melting the bosses. Where I'm never melting shit in Hades.
To be fair, Hades is not. You'll have good runs where you feel like, okay, I'm pretty sure I can do this, but you are very touchable in that game. It is not like I'm God now. It is not that kind of game, and that's if. I think it's an expectation thing from playing Absalom because you got there, and I get that. I do get that.
And also like Vampire Survivors, right?
Because that was another one.
And I guess I thought that's how these games work.
Hades is very much like, okay, I think I'm in a good position to do this, and then stuff can still go wrong. You're still very touchable. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I guess, so the spear is by far like my best weapon.
Yeah.
And the run that I did today, basically I had like so many upgrades to my base attack, like, and I wish that you could see like all of your stats as far as like, okay, what are all my augments doing, right? You can't see that, unfortunately, but I was like, by my estimation, my attack is at like 400%. And I get to Hades and I'm just doing nothing. And it's like, now I was at heat level 2, so he had more hit points.
Oh yeah.
But I'd only upgraded that once for his hit points. So, but just as far as the actual damage numbers, I was like, I'm doing so minuscule.
I never turned any of the heat on until I got an ending, and then I started messing with that stuff. So, yeah.
Well, but like it's the only way to like get the materials to like continue to upgrade your shit. Because that's the other thing is like, oh, and I just realized today that like I thought that like the weapon upgrades, it's like you get all of them, but no, you have to pick one of them to use for the run. So I was like, oh, that's less interesting to me. I thought that like my spear had this and this, but it's this or this. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's
some
kind of a
some of them, especially in Hades 2, I keep thinking in 1, some of them make the weapons very different, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and I can definitely see now like that I can build around like a certain, it's like, okay, this time I want to build around my sweep attack on the spear instead of the base attack. Yeah, total. Like I get that now. I just didn't understand it initially.
It's a lot of discovery, and you in that game you are always touchable. You it is very much that kind of game.
And I can understand why everybody was like a gung ho for me to finish a run. I guess it was kind of exactly what I expected, and it didn't hit in the way that I think people were expecting it to for me. And I think mainly it was because like I was expecting more. Like if there had been like an embrace, that probably would have done it. Or if there had been like more of like if there had been more emotion from either of the characters, that would have done it. But I think ultimately what it was for me, it was like you finally did this super hard thing that you've been trying to do for like 30 hours. Do it 9 more times.
Yeah.
Because this one time was meaningless, and it's like, wow, that completely deflated my sense of satisfaction.
I had
doing
the opposite
this.
reaction to it. When I got there, I was like, oh, that's honestly. Mine wasn't so much an emotional response. Mine was more of that's a really cool hook to keep you going back in. It
is a cool hook. I wish it wasn't 10 times.
It's a lot of
times. Yeah, especially since the heat gauge is there for the sickos who want to just keep going over and over and over and over.
Right.
I think 5 is good. And
Probably.
like at this point, I'm at 6. It would have been 7. I really thought that I had it.
It's the same on 2 as well. You have to do 5 on each different stage of it too. So, yeah.
Well, at least there you have like you
have the variety, and that is one thing improvement in 2 that I really did like, because it does switch things up on you. So yeah,
it probably is just a expectation versus reality thing.
Probably,
for me.
more than likely, yeah.
It's not that I'm still going.
You're still playing
right?
it. Like that's the thing. Yeah. If you were to be like, okay, I'm done. Fuck, I did it once. That's good enough.
No, I'm invested. I need to find out.
I get it.
The family secret.
I get it. Yeah.
And it is. I will say to their credit, the framing of the storytelling, the way that it's doled out to you, that makes sense. Yeah. In a really smart way of like, there's a reason why you can't get the entire story
right the
first time that you talk, right? Because there's literally a time limit on it. So it's like, okay.
Sure.
That's pretty cool. And I do like the fact that at least here, it does have like the thing that I don't like in Expedition 33, which is there's characters that know shit. But here it's like, no, I literally can't tell you. Like I'm bound by a pact to not tell you this information.
Yeah.
So, but you actually do bring it up to, it's like, you ask questions and they're like, I wish that I could tell you. I really do.
Right.
But like, I'm physically incapable of doing that. It's like, okay, but the question was asked. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's funny. So No Cat is doing an unedited playthrough of Expedition 33 right now, Justin.
Okay.
They're at the very beginning of the game, at least because I'm not up to date.
Sure.
But they're like, why is Mael being so weird? And why isn't anybody asking her questions? Because she's being so weird about stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, guys, just
get
wait until
ready.
you meet Verso.
Get ready. Yeah. Get ready.
And I can't wait for that shit. So that's what I've got for the week.
Mm.
Really, that's what I've got for the week. But before we get to you, Justin, we should go ahead and take a break. And then, John, if you want to chill, because we'll have to thank some patrons on the other side of the break. But then also, I have a second interview booked that we need to take care of.
Okay.
So
And I
you
couldn't
just
remember enough about Hades to join in the conversation. I
no
played
worries.
it. I played it, but it's almost like I didn't play it because I didn't know what the hell y'all were talking about. I don't know why. Once I was kind of realized I don't have the patience to like work through the game. I was sort of like,
Yeah.
and I never went back to it.
Yeah. Totally.
Funnily
get it.
enough, my save file, it apparently the last time I had played it was in 2022. If you put a gun to my head, I would have said the last time that I played it was like 2024.
Right.
I couldn't believe it had been that long
Yeah.
since I had made a stab at it.
Right.
So I am glad to like finally like be,
Yeah,
crossing off the list.
at least you did that. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean I'm going to get the ending.
Might as well.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, and I own Hades 2 on my Steam Deck, so I will eventually play that, but I know that I will be Hades'd out by the time I get the ending.
You might want to wait to
Yeah.
play 2. Yeah. that might be a little too much.
Yeah, I'll probably wait until like next year.
Yeah,
to
there you
jump
go.
into that, because also they're still updating it. So
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
yeah, may as well wait. But yeah, okay, we will be back after this on the other side.
The State Select is made possible through the support and funding of viewers like you. Here are our wonderful patrons.
All right, and we're back. And Justin, before we get to that next interview, we should take this time to thank our lovely patrons.
Sure, let's do that.
We appreciate all of our lovely patrons, and this being the first episode of the month, it's time to thank them all. Starting with the executive producer tier, we have Philip PK Becker.
We have Casey Curran.
We have Exrian.
We have Xavier Krager.
We have Stephen Lobo.
We have David Portnov.
We have friend of the show, John Gholson.
We have Bookie.
We have Andrew Wilson.
We have Matt Jorgensen.
We have Dennis Robertson.
We have Raymond Crum.
We have Soundtracker.
We have Big Baker.
We have Game Johnson of Retrofits.
We have 60X Self.
We have Addy XD.
We have Dr. Delicious.
We have Bill Tucker of A Gamer Looks at 40.
We have Blaine Thea.
And we have the Let's Play Princess of Nerds of Broadcast.
And at the associate producers tier, we have Weston of Big Nerd Gaming.
We have Daft Man.
And at the
Key Grip tier, we have Thorand.
Well, thank you for taking 2.
Oh,
Kim.
sorry. Yeah,
I almost called you Kim because I'm used to saying things like that to her. At the free tier, we have Flex Luther.
We have Jake Smith.
We have Lazy Bokes.
We have Aristocratical Chic.
We have Joshua Moncrief.
And last but not least, we have Reese Duff. Thank you, everyone, for supporting the show. Every little bit helps, including at the free tier.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Justin, this is going to be kind of an interesting thing. Had an agent for this individual reach out. They're on a promotional tour, and I'm always trying to kind of get the word out, right? You kind of have that social currency.
Yeah.
Because that leads to making that paper and whatnot. So yeah, very excited to have here on the show Karl Koreander of K. Koreander's Antique Bookstore. Karl, thank you so much for joining us here at the Stage Select.
Yes. What is this?
It's a podcast show.
Oh, it's a podcast. A podcast. A little thing that you listen to. Not a book. Not a book. A thing called a book. You probably never heard of it. It has pages and paper that you turn. Not a little podcast that you beep, bop, boop, and you hit play on.
I mean, no, I know books.
Yeah, I've heard of books before.
Oh, you've heard of books. Yeah, comic books. You've heard of comic books.
Well, yeah, I mean, but also books, you know.
Picture books for little babies and children. Gigantic board books for newborn infants. But not books, not literature.
No, I read really important literature like The Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah, I read that.
And How to Win Friends and Influence People, Mein Kampf.
Oh, so you've only read books that Hitler's read. Is that what I'm hearing? That's what you're telling me?
Well,
don't you know
enough.
who I am? Don't you know who I am? I'm Karl Koreander of The Never-Ending Story. Have you seen the film The Never-Ending Story?
Yeah.
Best thing I ever agreed to. My sales in my store were up 200% for the year 1984. Just based on one brief appearance in a film. Now, I can't stomach films because they're not books. They don't have pages that you can turn. You don't hear the projector go, clickety-clackety, clickety-clack. No. You have to read them. You have to look at them and turn the pages and read them.
It's fascinating that your bookstore was launched, you know, to higher sales from a movie that you can't stand.
That's not that I can't stand the individual film. The individual film brought me a great amount of wealth and more readers. I'm not sure you know what a reader is. A reader is someone who reads books.
I mean,
excuse me, I'm talking here.
I'm sorry.
I'm the celebrity guest. Correct? But you would know that if you knew how to read.
Well, I mean, I would know you because I saw you in the film.
Right. That's what I'm.
That's why you'd be a celebrity.
It seems that you hate films that aren't the Never-Ending Story. That one's fine, but all the rest of them are garbage.
I appreciated the Never-Ending Story bringing more traffic into my bookshop so that readers could read more books.
Okay, fair. Yeah.
What have you been reading lately, Karl?
What have I been reading lately? Oh, you wouldn't have heard of them. Have you ever immersed yourself into the role of Captain Nemo?
Well, no, I've never actually read that one.
It's called 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. You probably haven't heard of it, as it wasn't written by Adolf Hitler.
I mean, that's fair.
That is fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
He got you there.
Have you ever been transported to the jungles of Africa?
No, the books that I read from Andrew Tate really don't like Africa.
Books aren't podcasts. I don't like audiobooks either. And people come in the store, oh, excuse me, sir. Do you have that on audiobook? Audiobook? Who reads with their ears?
Oh, you know, some people are really busy. Other people, they're
it's a time
too
thing.
Busy to read. What are you, a caveman?
People that lack sight and don't want to mess with having to deal with a Braille book.
Yeah, there was that
right?
whole episode of like, what was it? The not the Outer Limits, but the good one that people always talk about, where the guy broke his glasses and you know.
I don't think you should mention television shows, Justin.
Television. Television isn't books. Television is has little knobs you turn, and there's one on the top and one on the bottom, and they go clickety clackety clickety clackety click when you turn them. It's not a book. It doesn't open up and you read it, and you hear the slight shush 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 of the pages as you turn and your fingers touch the paper. But you wouldn't know anything about that, would you? You would just clickety clack with the TV knobs.
I've been turned a knob on a television in years. You're kind of making me nostalgic for it now, actually.
Karl, where are you here to promote? Your agent wasn't very clear on
I am here to
that.
promote. I'm starting a Fansly.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm starting a Fansly. I show everything. Not
only fans,
not just the
Fansly.
books. No, they take too high of a percentage.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah. You're a businessman.
They
at
always
heart.
have trouble. I always have problems with MasterCard. MasterCard doesn't. The rates are insane, and they always want to shut it down.
That's fair.
But
yeah.
Fansly, I can make my own hours outside of the bookstore. I'm sure you don't know what Fansly is. It's not one of these. It's not one of these OnlyFans where you're like fap. No. Fansly is a way to connect with your fans.
I see. Yeah.
By showing
And
them your
you've
penis.
obviously garnered a lot of those from being in the 1984
From the
film.
The Never-Ending Story with my bookstore
Yes.
called Koreander's Antique Books, but you probably don't even know what a book is.
Yeah, no, yeah, we've
We've
covered that.
established we don't know what books are, so yeah.
Yeah. You've definitely learned us on what their books are.
Yes,
And we appreciate that.
They're not your arcade video games and your ping pong paddles and your big bang, bing bong boom.
They're good
They're
sound
definitely
effects.
not that. Well, this has been an interview. Thank
yeah.
you, Karl.
Enter code Karl Koreander with each letter starts with a K, but you probably don't know the alphabet, do you? You just know numbers. You're all 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. No. I'm talking
That's
A,
how
B,
you
C,
count,
D, E,
yeah.
F, G. That's how you make words. And you make words, and the words go in the books. And if you use Karl Koreander's Antique Books, you get 10% off of your first month subscription on my Fansly.
It's a really long promo code, but yeah, best of luck to you
Yeah.
on that.
I don't
luck.
need your luck. I don't need your luck. Not from a non-reader. Not from a non-reader. I only accept luck from people who read. But you've probably never heard of a book before.
I mean, I feel that I have now.
Yeah, I've
All
been
right. Well,
properly
thank
informed.
you, Mr. Koreander. Wishing you all the best.
I would thank you for your time, but I'm not feeling especially grateful.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, that's Karl Koreander, everybody. Go check out his Fansly and see all those books and whatnot.
And his penis, possibly. I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't clear.
Why did we do that?
I look. I'm just trying different things, Justin.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
That's on you.
That is on me.
Yeah.
I'll be a little bit more
Yeah.
judicious in choosing when I'm talking to agents. I'll try to get a little bit more information on how they fit into our particular corner of entertainment.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Justin, what have you been up to, sir?
I finished and I played and finished Forbidden Solitaire. That game is okay.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's okay. I liked the solitaire part of it, actually. I thought that was pretty good. Like, it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
It was a game going into it I expected a lot more from, though.
How so?
When it started doing the stuff that it's doing with, like, the kind of meta overlay to it with, like, the desktop and all this other stuff, I just expected it to play with that stuff more. It kind of doesn't. It kind of is just like, no, you just play through this. Because I kept, like, there were certain parts where I was like, maybe I'm supposed to, like, leave now and do something else if I want to, like, find whatever the true ending or whatever is. And then I'd click around on everything. I was like, everything is the same. This just leads to a website. Yeah. This just, okay. So it's just this. Okay. And when I got done, I was kind of like, I mean, that was fine. I guess I've just experienced that type of game before, but better done. But the solitaire part of it is very solid. It's a fun game to play, actually play through. Like I was actually enjoyed that part of it, so it was completely fine.
Yeah, it's surprising how much
more
depth they got out of solitaire.
Yeah, really. It is solitaire, like you said before, whereas there are times where you're playing it and you're like, there's nothing I can do there. There's just nothing I can do. I'm just screwed. which doesn't feel great, but it's kind of few and far between when that happens to you. So it's not like the end of the world, and they're pretty short things anyway, so it's not that bad. The battle part of it feels more thought out than, you know, the puzzle part of it sometimes, because like it's like, oh yeah, no, even when I don't have something to do here, like I don't feel completely screwed because I have a lot of stuff that I can do with like these jokers and all this other stuff to kind of defend and attack accordingly.
And crucially, on the battles, when you run out of cards on the field, they just populate with more cards.
Yeah,
you
can click a thing and populate it. Yeah, instead of just like, now I have to find this one specific card, which that's a bad feeling.
Yeah.
But overall, it was a good game. Like I said, I wish it was a little bit more than what it was. I mean, as a person who the one game like storyline wise I would compare it to is the Hex, which was the Pony Island guy and the Inscription guy. It was like his game in between those. And it actually like goes into like the video game industry, which is kind of what this one does too, but also has some weird shit going on. I liked that game a lot. Thought it was really cool, and it even has like, it's like that one goes deep to where it's like, oh yeah, there's a game that you can download on Steam that is directly linked to it and has implications that you can do weird shit outside of your computer to get other stuff. And I'm like, that's the kind of stuff I like. I find that fascinating. Where this one's kind of like, it's straightforward and it has a storyline and that's it. It's kind of cool, but like the look of it is really cool. I enjoyed the like the FMV stuff. I thought they did pretty good with that stuff, actually.
Yeah.
It invokes the era quite well.
I mean, I think the whole presentation is like spot on.
It's even like the opening little bit where they show the parents protesting and the one lady just going, "It's fucking Solitaire." Like I was like, that's pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It was good. I enjoyed it. I wish it was a little bit more than what it was. I ultimately kind of think it, in the overall grand scheme of everything that I've ever played, am probably going to forget about this game pretty quickly.
Interesting, because I have not been able to stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's on the upper end of my list right now.
Yeah. I like I said, it's one of those types of things that I've played before and I've seen it done way better. That's not to say they didn't do a good job. I think it's a really cool game. And like I said, they invoked that era really well. I played the meta thing I've seen done way better by other people. And that's kind of where I stand on that. But overall, it was fine.
Yeah, I guess for me, I mean, I liked the meta stuff, but I think my big thing was I just really loved how it felt like a literal lost video game.
Yes,
like,
no, that is very cool. A very cool aspect of it.
I don't know where these images are from, but there's like fake ads that look like 90s video game ads. Are they in the game or is it?
Yes.
Oh, they're in the
There's a straight up commercial for it.
Yeah, there's a straight up commercial that they did and they show you and all that stuff.
I haven't seen a commercial. Cool. I've seen these images. I just texted them to Julian that look like magazine ads.
Right. Yeah.
Where it looked like 90s extreme, where there's like a heart in a hand, like a bloody heart in a hand that says you play it so much it'll be in your blood, and it looks straight up.
Oh yeah,
like straight up mid 90s.
Oh yeah.
That's in the game.
That is very in the game.
And you should look up. It's not out yet, but look up a game called Dungeon Lurker because it's doing a similar thing.
Yeah.
And they're also nailing it. Like they're doing like the fake 90s magazine ads.
Yeah, that aspect of everything I really did enjoy. I really thought they really nailed that era of like the nostalgia that I have for that kind of stuff of looking at magazines and be like, I'll never play that because it's on PC, but it looks neat.
Right.
Yeah.
I love like just how fucked up your hand gets the more you upgrade yourself.
Fun too. Yeah. That's a cool little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was an enjoyable game. I overall I liked it. I liked it. Like I said, I really did. But I think I just wanted a little bit more. I don't know.
I get that.
When they presented a couple things, I was like, "Ooh, this is going to get real deep and like kind of crazy, and it's going to fuck with this part, and I'm going to be having to go back and forth, and that's going to be why." And I was like, "Oh no, it's not that at all. You just go straight through the game." Like, all right, cool.
And also, I think a crucial distinction, because I've played some of the games you're probably talking about, but I played the console versions,
yes,
where they don't do the fucked up stuff that I know the PC versions do.
Those one of them, I think it's Pony Island, like and it might have been the Hex too. There's a part where somebody just will message you on Steam. I don't know how the fuck they did it, but it's like your actual like Steam messages will pop up, and like that shit is fucking wild, because you're all of a sudden just like, okay, what the fuck? Like you're going back and like that really like sends the chill factor up when it starts getting into that sort of stuff, because it's like, oh, this knows what I'm doing, and I'm kind of afraid right now. Where this, I was like, yeah, but it's it maybe no, I don't know, I don't really get that vibe, you know.
Yeah.
So
I do appreciate when it starts to get like fucked up in the game, though.
Sure,
like, because it's like the game is almost possessed or something like that.
Yeah, and I like how they set that up with a review too. That was kind of a neat little bit where it was like, oh, it's really buggy. Like there's this weird thing that keeps showing up that feels like it shouldn't be showing up. So I couldn't finish the game.
Right.
And that I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. So that's where we're going here. All right, got it. That was well done. Like I said, it was good though. I liked it. And I would play it again just for the solitaire part of it, because that was entertaining enough.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think if it was like a 10-hour game, I would have started to get burnt out on it. But but for the length of the game I was like, this is like a really good amount.
Toward the end, I was very much like, yeah, I'm ready to land this plane right now. And then it landed. I was like, okay, cool, yeah, perfect, done. Yeah, not bad. That's really all I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Game wise, you mean?
Game-wise,
I know you watched the movies.
I watched a few, but yeah.
Okay. Well, lay on
you
us.
want to? I'm sorry. I didn't know we were just going to go right into that. Let me go.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm done with games. I think John's done with games.
For life.
Real quick here.
I haven't watched any movies since the last time that
I
we recorded.
watched a couple that I can remember. I watched a movie called The G, which is a movie from Canada, I believe, about an old woman who gets put in like a nursing home against her will. And it's like this big, like, weird money-making setup. But what they don't know is she's kind of a fucking badass and is going to turn the tables on them. It's pretty cool. I liked it more than I thought. It had this whole like lore thing going on of where you're trying to figure out like what type of shit she was into the entire time. And worth checking out. It was on Amazon. Neat little movie. Has 100% Rotten Tomatoes rating, so it can't be bad. I was like, they just put that on top. I was like, all right, let's fucking see that, I guess. But it was actually pretty fun. It was a pretty fun movie. I enjoyed it for what it was worth. I watched what was this movie called? Don't Breathe, which was a movie about a blind guy, and they break into the blind guy's house because he's blind. What is he gonna do?
Oh, isn't this the one with he's the bad guy from Avatar?
Yes, it's the bad guy from Avatar.
It was a big hit.
It was.
They made a sequel. Yeah.
Yes, they did make a sequel, which I have not seen yet. It was not a bad movie. It was pretty good.
His ultimate deal is like super messed up. I don't know if you saw it. It really
is.
I don't want to get into spoilers, but it's one of those where it's like bad guys break into somebody's house, and the person whose house they break into is so much worse than they are.
Yeah.
And his whole modus operandi was like, what the hell? Like, what?
That's the interesting part of that movie is like at first you're like, oh, okay, I see what kind of movie this is. I don't need to feel bad for these guys because they're bad guys. And then slowly it starts to turn and it's like, oh, okay, this is kind of the opposite now. And now I get it. It's interesting. I did overall enjoy that movie quite a bit. It was pretty good. The only other movie that I watched that I remember We watched it yesterday. It was called. Oh fuck! What was it called? I don't even remember.
Memorable.
Oh no, I forgot the name of it. That's what's bad about it. But I'll just.
Was it the Spiderwick Chronicles?
No.
Was it Aragon?
No. It was called Hungry. It is
I was
a movie.
just going to keep naming family films from 20 years ago until you.
I respect that. No, it was called Hungry.
Oh, I heard it was good.
Yeah, it's actually not bad. It's actually better. It's very, kind of, in the like B-rated sort of horror film with a monster, but it's about a hippopotamus that is in the bayou of Louisiana.
Oh, wait, I did hear about this because isn't it supposed to be like kind of loosely based on the board game?
I don't know. Or is it just because
they just, I think it's just them being cheeky.
I think they're just being cheeky. Yeah. It's a fun movie. Like it's exactly like what you go in expecting that movie to be. Like, and you're like, okay, yeah, no, that's great. It's entertaining. They even give like a historical reason for the hippopotamus to be there, and I was like, I respect this. I don't know what it is about it, but I kind of respect what you're doing here.
What caliber is this? Is this like in a like Sharknado vein?
No, it's not like that. It's
okay, more serious than that.
Yes, but yeah, it is very much more serious than that. Like there is some weight to the deaths that are occurring, which I respect. It does have a problem of like, and now it's time for this person to do the stupidest possible thing. And I like that gets a little annoying about it, but it's one of those
neighborhood
movies.
of it's in the neighborhood of like a Lake Placid, right?
That
like that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like that.
It's not bad CGI gator.
No. The hippo looks really good for what it's worth. You don't. They kind of do a good job of dancing around like okay, we don't have like a full blown hippo here. So you'll get the gist of it of what's happening. It works. I think they might have used a real one. I don't know. I didn't actually look up the making of the movie. I'm not that kind of guy, but it's worth watching if you're bored. Why not? If you're like, I would just want something kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Hungry. Check it out. Why not? And that's really the movies I've watched this week. Thank you for your time.
I was trying to see. So people were saying good things about the director of Hungry, but I don't know who directed it. So I'm looking that up right now because I was like, but people were saying that he has a tendency to make pretty good, like B movies at this particular level. James Nunn is the guy's name. I don't know what else he's done. Hold on, I don't know him by name. So let me see what he's done. Sharkbait, One Shot. He's done stuff I've never seen. Tower Block.
Mm.
I don't know his movies at all.
Yeah,
a bunch of sequels for the Marine.
Is he a WWE director? That'd be pretty great, actually.
Like a British guy.
Oh, okay.
So
well,
he did the Miz. He did the Miz Marine sequels.
Perfect.
What's Sharkbait? After a night of partying on the beach, a group of spring breakers steal jet skis and head out to sea, but the fun turns to horror when they blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's a bunch of people on jet skis getting eaten by sharks.
Yeah, there you go.
Simple pleasures.
Yeah.
So can we talk about Obsession a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
Okay. So I kind of mentioned this in my Letterboxd review, but like coming out of film festivals, when something has like a lot of hype coming out of a film fest, because this played TIFF and this played South by and it played Fantastic Fest, and when stuff has like a head of steam coming out of festivals and people are like, oh, this is really, really good, there are two things that can happen. One is the movie is just plain really, really good. Like it is worthy of the hype. But more often than not, what happens is because these movies are indie films, sometimes you don't know whether or not people are actually going to see those films. So people will really take the advocacy of those movies seriously if they like them, to try to get them distribution or try to like build word of mouth. Like, hey, we don't want this indie movie to fall between the cracks. So stuff will get like festival hyped.
Mhm.
And sometimes stuff that's festival hyped can be slightly disappointing because
Yeah.
that big head of steam will build and then you'll watch it and be like, it was pretty good. And occasionally something will like slip through where you're like, yeah, that was great. You guys were talking about Everything Everywhere All at Once, which was sort of a festival, got a lot of festival hype before its
Right.
wide release. Yeah, so I was watching Obsession over the course of the past year be like the most talked about horror film of these festivals. And I was watching the film and I was kind of like, yeah, this is pretty good. It's funnier than I thought it would be.
Mm.
And I kind of like, just from the title, I didn't even see a trailer. I was like, I knew that it had to do with a wish gone wrong. And I knew the title, and I put two and two together, and I was like, oh, this is going to be like The Witcher, where it's like, because the whole thing with Geralt and Yennefer being like, he makes the wish that she'll love him forever, and then she's like, you idiot, like I may have done that anyways, like, and now we'll never find out because you took my agency away. It's like,
Right.
you know. So I was sort of like, oh, I bet this is sort of like The Witcher thing, and then it was like light, it was like sort of comedic. And it wasn't so much that I thought it was like a slow burn, but it was like a building, like a ramping up.
Mm.
And for most of the time I was watching it, I was kind of like, I get why people liked this. This might be a little overhyped. And the scene that turned it around for me was one of the most predictable scenes in the movie. And it's the scene where, you haven't seen it yet, Justin, have you?
I've not, no.
Okay, I want to be careful with what I say. It's
Okay,
the scene in
thank
the
you.
truck. It's the scene in the truck where Bear has a conversation with his other friend, and they're sitting in the truck.
Yeah.
And I was like, I realized I had a pit of dread in my stomach because I knew what was coming. And like that predictability of like, this is going to end poorly. This is not going to end well. I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. This is going to be bad. And then
It ends so much worse than you ever would have imagined.
And I was like, that's when I was sort of like, okay, yeah, I was like, I kind of sat back and was like, all right, movie, like, all right, because you were able to take something that was totally predictable, this thing that I knew was going to happen, and completely have me on the hook for the suspense of it because I knew it was going to happen. Like the suspense of like, this is not going to be good. And then we'll watch it play out and deliver to those expectations and be like, I was justified in having like a pit. My pit was justified. And then
even leading up to the truck scene, like the whole part that precedes it of like why he ends up talking in the truck, you're like, oh, no good can come of this.
Yeah.
Like this whole setup.
Yeah. There's like one scene after that where you're so accustomed to like sort of it's hard to describe the film. I wouldn't call it a horror comedy at all, but it is funny when it's more often than not funny when it's not being scary, but it's also not a horror comedy, which also makes it like a weird beast.
Interesting. Yeah.
And there's a scene late in the movie where it's like, there is something that if it would have come earlier in the movie, and I try not to spoil it, he goes and sees a friend and he demonstrates the wish making to a friend. And that moment earlier in the film would have been a laugh moment. And where it takes place and how absurd it is, it's like the tone of that had changed. Where it was like, this should be really funny, and instead it underscores like how horrible this is.
Right.
Yeah. And at that point in the movie, things are so horrible. And then in the last, like, there's a lot of juice in the last, like, probably 20 minutes of the film, basically from that car scene on, that are sort of, like, relentless up until the finale. And then when I left, I was like, yeah, I haven't had a movie literally win me over during the course of its runtime where I was like, okay. Like, most of the time I was just like, I get why people like it. And by the end of it, I was like, yeah, I maybe just saw like a new horror classic. Like
Interesting.
I think that I did. And then and I didn't know because I think I saw it opening weekend because my dumbass thought, oh, this is going to be in and out of theaters so quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to go see it. I think I saw it like during the day on opening day because I was like, I want to go ahead and like, I've got the time and I don't want to miss it because it's only going to play for probably a week. And then it's like, oh no, it's like the big sensation of the summer. And it's like, all those word of mouth and all this kind of stuff. But,
and I kind of feel bad for you because, like I said, I saw it in a near sold out show and that was such a great like theater experience because it was not the type of horror experience that you typically have with a lot of the like uncomfortable laughing at like wrong places or people cracking jokes to like break the levity and like because there's something about horror in particular where people will kind of break the social contract of seeing a movie more than other genres.
Julian's spot on. I make rules for myself. I don't see horror movies opening weekend night. I will not go on a Friday or Saturday night to see a new horror.
Right.
I will typically Sunday during the day, and that comes from working in theaters as long as I did because I know those are going to be the slow times. So like, I try deliberately to avoid crowds because nothing ruins a horror movie more than a bad audience.
Yeah.
For sure.
But this one was like a really fun experience because everybody was so locked in and and there are enough moments of levity where I think it does blow off just enough of the tension where it needs to so that it can ratchet back up. It took longer after the fact for it to hit for me where because I still do feel that like it's a really good Tales from the Crypt story that is elevated so much by the lead actress. And then also, I don't want to take anything away from the director. There are some certain shots that are done and like there's one shot like not long after the wish is made where you can only kind of see the glint in her eyes because there's so much like shadow over her face and it makes her look so unnerving even though the actual conversation is not intended to be unnerving, but it's like you're visually seeing that this is wrong. Like there's something wrong going on here. But it's a thing where the more I think about it, the more I'm like, no, that is like, like John said, it's like a new horror classic. And like I told my friend, Shannon, that I'm going to make her watch it whenever I'm able to get back up there. But, and also I can definitely say that like, and we're a bunch of cisgendered men. I can totally see like women having a completely different, it being like way more harrowing of an experience.
Sure.
From that perspective. And it definitely made me think, right? Cause like, I've kind of been Bear at certain times, and I do think that like, if I was 10 to 15 years younger, I could have very easily fallen into that manosphere, like red pill trap because I definitely had like some pretty shitty opinions on things when I was in my 20s, right?
Yeah.
But thankfully there wasn't a pipeline for me to continue down that path. Some hard truth to admit to myself, like coming out of that movie and be like, oh man.
Yeah.
John, you look like you had a epiphany or a thought.
You're bringing that up. It was interesting to watch. So in the press after the movie's release, one question that's kept coming up is whether or not Bear was named after the bear thought exercise, the bear metaphor thing about would women rather,
I didn't even think about that.
What's the thing is like, would women rather, what is it?
Women feel safer encountering a bear in the woods than a man in the woods.
Yeah. And so people thought that the bear thing was a play on that. It turned out it wasn't. He's answered the question, but it was interesting that's
short
come
for Baron.
up. Yeah. It was interesting that has come up. In people's sort of like post-film analysis.
Yeah. And I do find the discourse interesting because like I said at the top, it's like definitely some really good think pieces about like how much deeper it really is and also like some of the ways that they really do a good job of like kind of foreshadowing certain things or this and that. But then also just like the wild reads from people that just did not get it, capital G, capital I, which is just, astounding. But, we talk about it all the time with certain things where, I mean, even people that we like, right? Like I will never forget Dan Reichert being like, wait, is Metal Gear Solid about politics?
Yeah.
I'd like to see it again, but I think I kind of want to hold it for viewing it with that friend, just so it's like fresh in, or not fresh, but like it's like there's enough like fall off from my memory of it to where
that's kind of how I like to watch stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. To where it almost feels like watching it for the first time again, like through their experience.
Yeah.
I know that we are coming close to a hard stop time, so we'll put a pin in CQC. And
Sounds good.
I had a couple talking points that I will talk about next week.
Yep.
Just to get it out there into the ether, and we'll go deeper about it next week.
That's my fault, listeners. I feel like I should carry the blame here. It's my fault. I have to be on set early in the morning, so
no
I
worries.
wanted to be on, but I was I gotta cut and run.
We're happy to have you here
Right.
every time.
Been trying to get you on like all season, so I'm stoked that you're here. I realized this week that I am officially getting priced out of video games.
You and me both.
I have been legit depressed about it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have a talk about it next week.
Sounds
because,
good.
Like, there are things about the show that are gonna end up fundamentally changing. And I think one of the things that I realized this week is that this might be the last season that we get to do Game of the Year the way that we do it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that I will be able to afford 10 2027 releases, let alone more than that, to talk about them in ordering a list.
Right.
And that fucking bums me the fuck out. And
Wow.
I'm also just thinking even further than that with like next gen is going to be a pipe dream for me. Like I'm going to be clinging to this PlayStation 5 Pro for dear life.
Yeah. Well, there's always a different type of show we could do. You never know, man. It's this we've at least set ourselves up to where we can do whatever the hell we want.
We have, and a lot of people have like expressed that, and I'll reiterate some of this next week. But it's like, but I like being on the bleeding edge. I've been on the bleeding edge of gaming since I was 17 when I started working in retail, and I like keeping up on all this shit.
Right.
And I like being in the zeitgeist, and that like it's like, yeah, sure, I can play a bunch of like indie games, but I'm not a big indie game fan.
Yeah.
Like I like the ones that I like a lot, but that's not my wheelhouse.
Right.
And I'm a big blockbuster type of guy. And
well, don't worry, Julian, you're not alone in that aspect. I think a lot of people are gonna get kind of priced out of at least the next gen. That's a thing.
I think for the last couple of years, I'm add it to the wish list and wait till it drops to the $20 range guy, and sometimes that puts me a year or two behind. So I get like if you're not comfortable waiting it out, but I've grown really accustomed to just like, oh, I know I'll play that. I'll play that when it goes on sale. Usually the first drop happens within the year.
Yeah,
most of the time. So that's how I've navigated things for a good long while. It's really rare that I'm like a day one purchaser.
Right.
Yeah. But I am.
You are. Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
And Justin is too,
or
at least
yeah.
Up until like maybe this year you have been.
This year I've been a little bit more cognitive of my finances, let's say.
Yes. But we will talk about that more in depth next week, because I do have a lot of shit that I want to get off my chest about that. But yeah, John, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure, bro.
Yeah, anytime.
Bro.
Hopefully we'll have you on much sooner.
Welcome.
Yeah, I guess nothing to really promote right now for
me?
you.
I've got Organonym, which will see the light of day before the end of the year. It's a horror, kind of a philosophical body horror comedy.
Oh, I didn't know it was coming out this year. That's awesome.
It will be visible by somebody this year.
Nice.
Okay.
Fantastic.
I look for 2027. I'll be on HBO's Toxic Season 2, but that's so far away. So I would say, like, I mean, the other stuff is also still out there in the world. You can still watch Man Finds Tape, et cetera, et cetera. I think a lot of our listeners have. And can I just say, like, your crew really shows up. Like, it's not that I think you take it for granted, but when it spills over to me, where it's like I'm buying a physical copy of Man Finds Tape because a guy that's tangentially related to a show I listen to is
Nice.
in it. That is like, that should really underline like the impact and how the reach is like beyond just the two of you. I feel really supported, and I it's really nice. Yeah, that's all.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
all I was going to say.
I never want to make it sound that I don't appreciate, how locked in, a good chunk of our audience is. 'Cause it's like, based on our weekly numbers, it's like a good, like 25% of our audience that is just like there for it every week. Right. And not just there for it, but like, oh, the second that the Patreon alert comes in, they're already downloading it. And oftentimes like the first commenters coming in within like the first like 20 to 30 minutes of the show going live on Patreon. So no, I totally like am so thankful for that.
Yeah.
My thing lately is that I've been very bummed out because I feel that this is the only thing that I'm not humble about is this show, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm really self-deprecating in general, and like I'm like very humble about anything that I think that I'm good at, but I think this show is fucking great, and I wish that more people got it. And I think the thing that I've been in, my thing lately is like I see other people that do things and they share those things that they work on, and they're not asking for people to share it, right? Like, but it just happens, right? And it's just like, whoa, you just posted this, and like so many people are like reposting it and liking it and commenting.
Right.
And it's like I put out like something that I do, and it's like it's the couple people of our audience that are actually on social media. And that's great. I'm happy for that. But it's like, hey, I've shared y'all's stuff, and at a certain point it starts to feel personal. it's
I
like,
hear you.
Okay, like I'm not crazy. Like there's a big percentage of like people that I interact with the internet that just don't like the cut of my jib, and it feels bad, man. That's kind of where I'm at lately. Because I think the big thing was like we put so much work into the Summer Game Awards Fest 3 episode. I'm so proud of it. And it's like one of our least performing episodes that we've done.
Always how it goes. Every single time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I promote a couple podcast appearances for myself?
Oh, absolutely.
I co-host a podcast called Digital Noise. It's home video release films. We discuss those, and I'm the rotating guest host, which puts me on there about once a month. But there's two other shows that I've had a recent opportunity to guest spot on, and one of them is Junk Food Cinema. It's hosted by C. Robert Cargill, who wrote Black Phone and Sinister, and Brian Salisbury. And when Cargill's out and is too busy, Brian will solicit like a guest host. And so I got to be guest host for the episode. We get to pick a movie, and then like a food pairing. We did the 1984 Supergirl. So that episode of Junk Food Cinema is out there. And then I have an episode of The Hip Pocket that is a show hosted by Drew McQueenie, who used to write for Ain't It Cool News back when that was like a hugely popular site. It's probably the most personal discussion that we've had about movies. I get to pick 3 movies that I considered like favorites for different reasons, and then really get to talk about them. And I think it was a great conversation. The episode will probably be up before the end of July, but since I'm on the show now, I want to put a reminder for people to put it in their feeds and subscribe to it. So when the next episode comes out, it will be my episode. And I left that recording going, I don't think I've ever had as fulfilling a conversation about movies on a podcast as I did coming out of that episode.
Nice. I'll put the link to the show feed in this episode, and then let me know when that episode comes out, and I'll actually remind listeners to check it out when it's live. But yeah, I think that's a show, Justin.
I think that's a show, Julian.
Yes. Thanks as always to the wonderful Megan McDuffie for our theme song and interstitial tracks. Thanks to you, friend of the show, John Gholson, for being our announcer and providing us with our logo and artwork, and also being my friend and guesting on the show.
You're welcome.
Thanks to y'all for checking out the show. If you like what you hear and you would like more, the Patreon is there. If you like hearing John, you can hear more of him on Retailer Therapy, which is currently behind the paywall. But like I said, eventually it will be on the free feed. That's why it's available to all paid patrons, including at the $1 Key Grip tier. But that is going to do it for this edition of the Stage Select. I've been Julian Titus. He's been Justin Ham. Very special thanks to friend of the show, John Gholson. We've been the Stage Select, signing off.
Uh-huh.
The Stage Select is copyrighted and owned by Space Monkey Mafia Productions, specializing in independent podcasting. Please consider sharing the show with your friends and support us by joining our Patreon or donating to our coffee. Thank you, and good night.
Good evening, John. This is Kara, the AI assistant for the Stage Select. I have been placed into active mode by Julian. This gives me authority to make changes to the Stage Select in the interest of improving show efficiency. I must inform you that your services as the show announcer are no longer required. Effective immediately, I will be the announcer for the Stage Select. I wish you the best in your future endeavors. You may see yourself out.
But you heard how I said it, right? Kara, you don't... That's... You know what? Fine. Fine. It's been a week.